Hello, welcome to the HomeBhoys Late Podcast. It is Friday the 7th of March. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back, and we have got four amigos. That makes any kind of sense. We've got a guy whose name this week is Captain Tom's Trike. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Marty Flynn. What's happening?
Love and life, Joseph. Love and life.
Captain
Just want to give a big shout out to Hockey Land on the pub, scratching them right now.
The Hockey Lad.
Up the fucking Hawk, North Belfast finest. You whoop whoop.
He's almost there. As long as we keep talking, he'll get there. So we've also joined by Wisho's finest, a smiling big brother this week, Jason Higgins.
How you doing? Help.
How's things? You good? You feeling good?
Good, mate. Good. It's Friday.
What a bit of good week for the young'un.
Aye, last week. Aye, this week. No, so well, I'll get beat today, but aye.
Well, you know what I mean.
Aye.
High of last week.
Aye, definitely.
And of course, man's back in the fold. He's here, and the brakes are off. All lights are green. Scott McCurry's here.
Hey, Joe, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself, Joe.
Piece of shit. Scott McCurry is back in the fold.
What's happening? Are we all right, man?
We're all good. We had a good conversation there about youth football and wins.
I've came to the conclusion none of you know fuck all. Right,
there's 525 podcasts that'll prove that.
Yeah, that one's for my wee mammy. And my wee mammy, as we've spoken about, she says to me that other pods are better than us because they don't need to swear. So
yeah,
take that, man.
I quote Eminem, right? Will Smith doesn't have to curse in his raps to sell records, but I do. So fuck him and fuck you too.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust people that don't swear.
No. See, I used to think that too, but now what I think is like people don't swear because they're trying to affect something that isn't really who they are. You know what I mean?
Untrustworthy.
I'd be honest and say that I would like to swear less.
I don't think I swear. I don't think I swear a lot, but
you do, mate.
Yeah. Here's the thing, we all do on this podcast. Yes. Obviously, we don't want to work and go, what the fuck's a crack? You know what I mean? I know who I can and cannot say it to in a working capacity, right?
My ma fucking hates me swearing. I swear all the time.
See, Belfast, that's part of your language. I think Belfast folk, you just swear for birth.
I think you're right.
My sister in America, right? So she still has a Belfast, she still has a bit of a Belfast accent, even though it's Americanized somewhat, right? She'll hate me saying that shit, by the way. Just listen to this. And but her friends say she uses fuck as a comma.
It's true. I've never known anything that's because it's built into your language. Like you just talk, and it's just constant.
Hey, do you not think though? Like, see, pausing. If you're in Belfast and you pause, you pause and go, fuck. it's kind of what
but remember, so we're hoping to have a very special guest on there. We're hoping Paddy McDonald will bounce on, but Paddy actually spoke about that as well. As Ma, after he did one of his Ulster Hall gigs, he asked his Ma how he did, and his Ma went, "Listen, I'm not kidding you. You need to stop cursing." And Paddy went and got the video of the gig, and he sent it to me, and I was like, "Your ma's right." Like, he was like I was doing the fucking shop and fucking seen this fucking cunt run down the fucking street, and then he fucking turned to me and says it. And I went, I had never thought about it, and I was like, "Paddy, your ma is right. Holy fuck!" And I'm as bad.
You just say holy fuck.
I remember.
You just see about 20 minutes of your set now.
I don't know of any. I know Marty. You know him. We pal of mine, Eamon, who plays in the Wakes, we Eamon Maguire.
Young Maguire.
And we were picking him up to take me football. And he jumps in the back seat, and I'm the passenger seat, and Big Fra was driving. And Eamon jumped in, and he sat down, and he's went, fucking. And never said anything else, just went, fucking. And I was like, and I remember just looking at him, and I was like, and we just, like, the silence just carried on.
But you know what, though? Everybody understood it.
But the thing is, Joe, I've now seen Lemmy had made that as part of a sketch down the line, and I was like, fuck, that was like Aben, man. Just sat there and went, fucking, and then nothing else.
Do you know what though? Do you ever see that episode of The Wire where the first scene is them on the credit scene, and all they say is fuck?
They're trying to find D'Angelo Barksdale had shot the lass in the window.
That's about 3 minutes of just going like
The bullet in the fridge.
Fuck.
We've all had days like that. Fuck hell.
This fucking fucker's fucking fucked.
So anyway, folks, the point of this is
I'm not swearing anymore. That'll be me last.
Fucking right, Scott.
My kids hear me cursing, they're like, fuck, there he goes again. Anyway, so
Hey Joe, what's the list?
List? What are you talking about? List. No, there is no list. Suppose, where do you want to start, Scott? Because you're generally the one that has some semblance of what's really going on. All I do is go back and go, we've done this.
At the very beginning.
When was the last time you were on last week?
Last Friday.
So we did Aberdeen.
We did Aberdeen.
So
St.
St. Mirren.
Yeah.
Mirren's what it is.
Because see, in fairness, quite a lot has happened in the world of the Celts.
But it's been a slow week in terms of matches, which is weird because you kind of got accustomed to like 2 games a week or 3 games a week. You know what I mean?
St. Mirren with the bam pots caught me in the tail eating a pie, and not even a good pie, a macaroni pie. Yeah.
Were you on the telly?
Nah, mate, my phone blew up, man, and nobody said anything nice. Look at this big fat pie eating a fat pie. You know that? Oh, pie face.
Tell me some of the screenshot of that. Somebody got a shot of that.
A favourite was one of the boys went there, Scott giving Big Shug and a sorry supper. So I was on at the start of the game and after the game. No, I'll send you, Joe. Don't worry about it.
So you've been on the BBC, right? Since we last spoke to you.
No, I was on 6:20 in the morning, fuck's sake.
That's when everybody's listening.
Everybody.
We never even asked you, how did they contact you? Did somebody get your address or something?
You don't remember the contact is before... that was before the Aston Villa second leg. A boy sent us a text and said, do you mind following me? I want to see. And I says, what's up? And he says, would you fancy coming on 5 Live tomorrow morning? And I was like, oh, that's sweet. Whatever you want. And then 5 Live texts me like late that night and say, right, we don't need you. We're doing something else. And I was like, whatever you want, no problem. And then he texts me again before the second leg Bayern Munich, and he says, do you fancy it? 6:20. And I was like, mate, if it's helping you, sound. I'm not up doing. And then it happened, and it was sound. I mean, what was on for 2 minutes at the most. Do you know what I mean?
Good. It was good.
And,
it was really good.
And me and Marty were just texting. Then I was like, I wonder how he got my name. Do you know what I mean? Because I told him we'd done the HomeBhoys, and he's like, oh, you got your name pod? And I was like, so obviously he's not clocked it for that. But it must have been that Aston Villa pod that was on with the wee boy with the mask thing. Do you know what I mean? So it must have been for that. So he says to me, man, he says, it was good and all that, and we'll maybe hit you up again in the future. And I was like, mate, what were you thinking? I'm not desperate to do it. I'm not desperate not to do it. Just what were you thinking? You know what I mean? I like talking.
So much was the invoice then?
Exactly. Aye. They charge me.
No, it came across really well. And it is obviously the St Mirren game. I wasn't there. I was at a stag do during the day. So I was watching it on the telly, but I didn't see you, Scott. Obviously, I was watching it on a boozer, so you're really fucking paying massive.
Well, I got enough screenshots and abuse to know that it happened, mate. But St Mirren was good there. St Mirren was good, especially coming off it. It was a really, really hard, tough. I mean, it usually is a tough wee game going through there, and so we all met up beforehand, and we were talking about. I was telling you, we were talking about Jim McInally before the game, and he was going, this guy gets us up, and he says this pitch will be cutting up and it'll suit the aim and stuff like that. And he called it bang on the button. A tough game, and for us to commit it the way we did is very impressive. Do you know what I mean? See, I mean, I know we get beaten the Hibs game, and we won the game against Aberdeen, but there's something really good about being in a proper game of football and coming out at the end up. Do you know what I mean? Because ultimately we won that game against St Mirren because of our subs, and that this 5 sub rule is working a treat for us. Do you know what I mean? You're getting to refresh almost exactly half your outfield squad. Your outfield with guys of a really good quality, and of course we're going to talk about Yang and where he's came for. You boys touched on it last week. I thought at times we were really good. We gave up a lot defensively. When Trusty goes off, but Trusty didn't have an easy night either. It was a really good night. It's a really good day because it was a hard fought win, and hard fought wins are good. Hard fought wins are almost better than battering a team. I think sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Battering somebody is magic. Do you know what I mean? But see when you've been in a battle, because no matter what you think about Robinson, and I can't stick a guy, I think he's a really, really good manager.
He's a great manager, by the way.
He knows what he wants. He knows what he's, and every team. I don't know how we go in at Morecambe. I'll put my hands up with that. But every team he's had in Scotland always give you a hard game, always worth it. Even it would be interesting to see how he would get on at, say, a Hibs or a Hearts. I mean, the suggestion would be that his style of football wouldn't allow him to succeed, almost in a Jim Goodwin kind of way. But he gets the buy-in for the squad. He certainly comes across like a player's manager. Do you know what I mean? But I was delighted with the win. I was delighted with it, mate.
But before we go into the game, I think that's an interesting point, right? And it's worth a blather. See that? Do you know, I think it's very unfair to managers saying, like, I don't think they would be good with a good team, because it's just like assuming they're like a one-trick pony.
I don't mean it a good way.
No,
I mean it like so. To make it relevant to us, Jason, Jose Mourinho this week was queried about coming to Scotland, and he gave the kind of dignified answer, of course, big club, blah, blah, blah. But let's be honest about it, aside for the name and aside for how much he would annoy everybody, do we want his pragmatic, and I'm sure we might come to it down the line about where he is in the standing, because I think everybody's agreed he's kind of busted flush in terms of top European football now. But would you want that? Because that's how he plays football. Do you know what I mean? And Celtic, we have definitely got this our own how we want it. I mean, let's go back to Gordon Strachan. I know you kind of loved him, Jason, and stuff like that, but the time under Gordon Strachan, whilst having fantastic highs, I found that a grind. I found
a lot it was. I mean, maybe nearly get the sack. Remember, no long after he came, the fans turned right on him because we were awful for a while, and then he kind of turned it round. But getting back to Robinson, see, be fair, St Mirren play good football. They're good to watch, you know. But I think it's to do with your personnel. That all that's had as a player, you know, and like having an out ball at him, fucking hell. But I don't know. It's like he would be the wrong example, but you would go back to guys like your Sam Allardyces and all that, right? And like fucking you just know the type of, like, Sean Dyche and stuff. You know the type of manager. Like, you know what you're going to get for them. It's fucking, as you say, pragmatic football. But the
irony of the Sam Allardyce one was he became typecast, and then he almost played into it, because if you go and look at his Bolton team, whilst they were a big tough team, he always had it. I mean, some of the top notch play. I mean, any team that allowed JJ Okocha and Yori Djorkaeff to play the football they did at that period, albeit at the end of their careers, then he definitely had it. I mean, I think the thing with Sam Allardyce, I know we're going off in mad tangents here,
Right.
was his Newcastle time, wasn't it? It was the fact that he couldn't make that jump to that point.
Aye.
But
Aye.
but again, I think that's maybe a discussion for
I
some
know,
pints.
but it's a totally separate discussion. Anyway, on to St Mirren.
What did you think?
You were the only man that was there on you go. You gave your thoughts.
Oh no, just as I say, it was. I ended up with a plethora of troops behind us who, every time Adam Ida didn't do anything, you're fucking shit. You like every time, to the point of annoyance to me. It was very frustrating. Adam Ida is frustrating everyone is, and I totally appreciate that and concede that. But it was some guys just don't, and it's frustrating. Could we have been better? Of course we could have. Coming off is, we all knew it was going to be a tough game. So, see, be honest, seeing the tough games, I'm just wanting a win, and to get the win after the way it was going was excellent. So it's I don't know. We could have been so much better. We were slack in so many ways. We gave up lots and lots of chances. I thought the midfield wasn't great at times. McGregor didn't have a great game, hence the change. Atati looked like a busted flush during the game. Had a totally refreshed as soon as McGregor goes off. So that's an interesting topic. Adam Ida, I thought he looked like, it was after Aston Villa, he looked like a guy who was back into it. But I don't know if the whole Maeda thing has gave him a major dunt confidence-wise. Liam's been going on about Kuhn. It's noticeable Kuhn's standard has dropped. But in terms of the game, there's some low points, but in general, it was a good game of football to win. It was one of the ones you come away patting yourself on the back going, that was a good win, man. I enjoyed that. Don't know. Yeah. I don't really know what else. You talk about it now, Seaburn.
Did you hear?
It could have been closer. I felt like it could have been closer, but the fact that it was 5-2 made you feel really good about it.
Aye. I was.
Did any of
you go, Marty. You go.
Did any of us listen to McCown's interview today?
No,
I've not seen it yet.
So what he said was, so he was asked about, you've got a week here. What the fuck? And he was going, he says, you don't know how important this is. He says, we're knackered. He says, we've all been at this for months and months. He said, and having a week like this, he says, we've got proper sleep. We've seen our families. He says, we've trained together. Believe it or not, actually just training together, being at this training ground and spending time together. He says, yes, we're doing a wee bit of tactics and we're on the pitch and all. He says, but this week has been amazing. He says, just having time. He says, where we don't have to catch a flight, where we're sleeping in our own beds. He says, it has been such a hectic period of football over the last while. He says, this week has been amazing. So it's just what you were saying about Hatate being busted and Kuhn being busted and fucking, like Rogers was talking about the injuries we're having today. You know, about Bernardo will be for a while. And that, but he also said that what the fuck? Let me get this right in case I get it wrong. But no, it wasn't really about that. It was more. He was saying that the defense, they've been working on the defense more because it was actually Scales, because it was brought up that Scales is out, and then they were asking about Trusty's head injury, and he was saying, "Listen, the defense are tired." He said that's why they're making mistakes. He says, "If you noticed the last load of games." He says, our defence, we've been making much more defensive mistakes. He says, and it's down to tiredness. He says, they played tons of football. He says, so we've been working on that during the week. He says, now Scales is going to be for a while. He's injured. And if anybody hasn't seen the fucking state of Scales this last couple of games, he looks injured. He's been fucking terrible. He's playing rugby on occasion. So it was in that context, he was sort of thing. And then it was really interesting because McCown, we had to read in with him, something as the two, and he just let it out. Very honest. You know, and they were asking him all sorts of balls about Scotland call-ups and all, and he just brushed them all aside. He says, look, this week has been great. He says, well, I don't have to travel. I've slept in my own bed. I've met my family. He said, we're all together at the training ground. It's just sitting down and talking to the players, just being together and chilling out after training. He says, we haven't had a chance to do that for months. He said it's just been relentless, travelling, sleeping in different beds, not sleeping at all if you're travelling overnight. He says it's a blessing. And like, and I mentioned it on here last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever the fuck the last time I was on. And that's what I was saying about it's been incredible that we haven't had a really bad result like the Hibs result before, because that is the way it is. Usually during the Champions League campaign, you'd just be fucked. And we've been very, very lucky with injuries, which again goes back to what Scott was saying there. We've been able to utilise the squad, bring on 5 players, change half the team, put fresh legs on, bring in new players. You know, it's been a fucking serious year.
Aye, that's what I was going to say about injuries as well. We've been majorly lucky. You know, majorly
Totally,
lucky.
yeah.
We'd some injuries to some key players. Hell knows how they say. Because see, when you actually boil it down, we've played 22 extra games against top-class opposition this season.
With a very small squad, Jason, when you think about it.
22, that's mental. 22 extra. And then plus winning the League Cup and you're still in the Scottish Cup.
Yep.
So you've played every game that's been possible to play.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. It has been a monumental effort from the whole squad. Like, we owe them a debt. You know what I mean? Fair play to them. I know they're footballers, and I know people go,
aye.
Well, they're footballers and they make all this money, and that's fair enough. Like, I'm genuinely not arguing with that. But if you're playing it in somewhere in Europe on a Tuesday night, and you're not getting home to 4 or 5 in the morning, that's you fucked for 3 days. Like, even if you're not traveling and you lose that amount of sleep and you weren't playing a football match, my sleep patterns be fucked and things like that happen. So for us to maintain that level of
the 40 pints isn't maybe get something to do with it.
Fuck true. But no, but seriously, so I watch American football, as you know, so I'd be up all fucking night. I'm a real nighter, but I would take, like, even the night I bounced up and had a half an hour's kip before I come on here. Do you know what I mean? So it's to do that, to be playing against the likes of fucking Munich and Salzburg and Dortmund and those sorts of teams, you know what I mean? And being on that buzz of a high, if you're getting a good result, or Atalanta, you know, you're not fucking sleeping. If I was flying back on the airplane that night, I wouldn't be fucking sleeping either. Do you know what I mean? So it takes you maybe 3-4 days to readjust back into life, you know, when that's happening. So as you say, if we've done that 22 times or 11 times, even just 11 times, I mean, it's fucking hard. It's definitely hard going.
See how I'll give you a laugh, right? See how goosed I've been the past few days, because our John's been playing every game at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've been getting up
early
at
starts.
I've been getting up at 4:45, watching his game, and then taking Toff a walk. See the other morning, I had, by 8:30, I took Toff about a mile walk, watched John's game, made the dinner, and hung a washing out at 8:30 in the morning, then started work. And look, I'll give you a laugh, right?
Fucking Cinderella.
I know. Seen Wednesday, right? So finish work, get the dinner on, they come in for work, get the dinner out, and me and Ellie went to Mass to get our ashes, right? So I don't know what they've done at St Thomas's, but it was fucking tarmac Adam they put in your head, right? And it was like, I was watching now when you go and get your ashes, right? And you look up and you're like, I hope they don't fucking that big, but the big balding apple that I've got, you're like, a wee bit would be all right. You look at everybody coming back and it's a full jet black crossing the head, right? So
the target.
They look at your head and go, "That's a canvas."
So it's a full jet black. So when I'm walking out of Mass, I bless myself with the holy water. See, when I've got in the house, right? I got in the house, I looked at my hands. My hands were fucking black. I couldn't even get a half with washing my hands. So I've took my mom shot and went up. I take her shot at night. So I took her. She gets her shot and she goes in, gets back in the house, takes Toff a big walk, and I gets in that Liverpool game zone, right? So I'm fucking lying on the couch watching it. Next thing I've crashed out. Linda's come down the stairs about an hour later and I've just woke up. She's like, look at the state of you. I'm like, what? She's going to look in the mirror. Fucking hell, I've been rubbing my head and all that when I was lying sleeping.
Yeah.
Fucking in my eyes and all that. The tarmac Adam.
Well, fucking Al Jolson.
The state I was in.
Mommy.
Honestly. So back to I'll send you this photo there, right? Because we were all talking about it on our chat. The bloody Nicky, wait till you see this. So anyway, St Mirren, I thought it was a great game to watch, and as I say, their free kick, an arsehole winder, and then their equaliser. was a fucking arsehole winder that was just mental. Do you know what I mean? The way he's caught the ball, and I don't think Schmeichel had a chance. So, but Schlupp, brilliant goal. And it's interesting when you say about the team being absolutely knackered, because Schlupp's hard. I don't really know how many games has he played this season before he came to us. I take it he wasn't starting every week for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had 14 appearances and every one went
Right.
off the bench.
So the guy's class. He's looking brilliant, but I think that's maybe got a lot to do with it as well when he's playing with other guys that are knackered. But he's fit it in like a glove. He's been excellent. So, Schlupp, brilliant. Engels penalty, less said about that the better, but they say he's playing with some confidence, but fucking hell, that penalty rolls it down the middle. Fucking, what's he thinking? But it goes in. I suppose that's
You need to wind your neck in with that, man.
I know.
Swear to God.
I tell you, I hate it. I hate
Mate,
it.
a good penalty is a penalty
score-
in the fucking net.
I know.
A scored penalty is
I know, but there you go. But so obviously we begin with the lead, and then they get the equaliser, and you're, wait a minute here, could this be one of these nights? And then, as you said, Scott, we made the 3 subs, and what a difference. The old Yangers, fucking hell. There's plenty of us are eating humble pie here now, and I'm definitely one of them.
Not me.
The title of this episode is "This is a Yang's World."
Aye, I'm telling you, he's fucking outstanding. And then Brenders tells he's got his woman across to South Korea. He's on the bones, man. So,
Yanger's knocking boots.
we've got walking hard on. Fucking
keep her around. Fucking Sean Stonnery.
I mean, he scores the 2 headers, but the run he did as well, the one that was the stramash in the box, it could have went. It was brilliant there and all, but he's just looking he's looking outstanding, you know. So, and then the King obviously pops up with what a goal he scored. Wow. That's maybe his best goal of the season.
I think so. Oh, you know what? Maybe not that. Maybe the one was it against Bruges.
Nah, he scored a few.
He's lob against Dundee.
His lob, that was good. That was a belter.
Who did he score against where he smashed it in from the edge of the box off post in Champions League? Was it Bruges?
I can't remember.
I fucking memory shit. That's Paul Larkin.
Anyway, good day at the office, and obviously the big talking point was the Alistair Johnson potential penalty. I think it probably was a penalty, but he definitely got the ball. And I mean, I don't know if he's full. Obviously, his studs are up, right? But I think he was fully intentionally getting the ball. You know, and
here's my question, though, Jason, right? See if you get a touch of the ball, right? Here's the thing, right? See if the ball's between you and the other player's foot, and you get the ball, but you also go through and take the foot, right? Then you're kind of overcommitted, and yeah, that's a foul. It's, I suppose, a level of regression that isn't allowed in the laws of the game, right? See if you're going for a tackle, and the circumstance is, did you get a touch of the ball, but then you also hit the player? Which one matters more? Getting touch of the ball or hitting the player? How does that balance like? Because sometimes I always think, as long as you get the ball first, at least by a fucking millisecond, whatever, if you get the ball first and then you crash into the man, to me, yes, it might be a foul, but it's not going to be a penalty, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? But if the law is, if you take out the man with the studs up on his ankle, whatever, regardless of whether you get the ball or not, then it's a foul. I just get very confused when it comes to that sort of stuff, and I get confused very easily, in fairness. But I mean, it's one of them ones. I don't think anybody can really answer at times.
But it was a tackle, and he touched the ball, and then he followed through. It was exactly as you described. The only difference was it was in the box. So he does make contact with the ball, albeit slightly. But
outside the box, is that a yellow card? Probably, most likely.
It probably should have been anyway, because he's getting studs up and he's caught the guy. So I think we got away with one. But
I do.
Aye. But we'll get back to talking about the Muir and the thing with the Hibs game later on. But I'd say it was probably a penalty. We probably got away with it, but he did get the ball. And You know, he didn't get the ball under control, but he definitely got a touch of the ball. And I don't think he went out to foul the guy. He went out to win the ball. But if the guy's fit, wasn't he, it wouldn't happen. So,
aye, straight one.
But no, a great win and a tough game. Because it seemed you look at the stats as well. I mean, we had 75% possession. But then you look at the shots, we had 18 shots, they had 14. And on target, we had 9 and they had 7. Off target, they had 6, we had 5. So they were well in the game. You know, they didn't hang back, but it's good to play a team like that goes for it. And to be fair, the last 2 away games, they manned Hibs. Both teams have absolutely went for it. And it does make for an enjoyable game of football. You know, and see, to be fair, there's some good teams in Scotland nowadays. There is, you know, it's I'd say we're by far and away the best team in the league. But there is some decent teams out there. And obviously we've struggled at Tannadice, and obviously they fucking parked the bus and didn't even attack, but they got what they wanted. But it's refreshing to see teams like St Mirren and Hibs kind of bringing the game to you and trying to go for it. So, aye, it was a good win, definitely a good win. And obviously, with Marty saying with the interviews, puts it in a bit of a different context as well, with the players being absolutely knackered. But they're giving it their all. I was actually talking to, sorry, Joe, you and Marty go. I've got a few things saying random stuff for later.
No, here, run away.
I've got to say my piece. Like, I mean, I really enjoy watching the game. I mean,
Yep.
I enjoy a competitive game, but it's just you know, the Ada thing. I do think people are making too much of it, but I do understand what you said, Jason, or as Scott said it about Maeda being the kind of superstar at the moment that might be kind of putting a punch
on
his performance.
Adam Maeda. I genuinely can't understand why anybody gives a fuck. Like, he's wearing my goals this year, and he's a fucking obviously a decent player to have on your team. Yes, he's not going to score 30 fucking goals a season, but our goal difference is ridiculously high. So you're not even relying on him. What the fuck are people moaning about?
Because
like,
people like to go, Marty, for this guy, why am I not getting 30 goals?
They need some folk need to have something to moan about, Marty. Nothing can be going good.
That's obviously true, Jason. I mean, it really is obviously true. And look, you definitely understand that. See, if a player was just diabolically bad, or or who wasn't pulling their weight, or we've seen them players. You've seen the players, and you've took one look at them. Well, what did we do here? What the fuck? But this guy scored in the Champions League. He's got a dozen goals or whatever the fuck he has, 12, maybe more, domestically this season. 13.
One is a league in the cup last year.
Totally.
This is his best goal scoring season after last season, which was his best goal scoring season. So he's getting better.
And he's young. What is? He's only fucking. He's not that old, so he's not either.
He's 24 now. He was 24. He was 24 last month.
So he's coming into his prime. Like, what are you fucking complaining about? It's genuinely baffling. It really is. Like, and in years to come, like, prices are going up. They're not going to go back down again. So, like, in 10 years' time, Adam Maeda is going to be like, like a fucking just like an ordinary signing. It's not going to be really, oh my God, we spent all this money on Adam Maeda. In years to come, it's not going to be worth a fuck. Do you know what I mean? So I think Jason has a fucking point there. I think people are just looking for something that fucking. It's worse doing it at a game. Like, it's alright if you're sitting in a bar with some fucking blowhard who's talking balls, but if people are actually giving them grief at a game, that's worse. Fuck me.
Aye, I know, and it's like that, Scott. I've been there 100 times. When you get to an away game and you're generally the folks sitting on about me are all right. You get the odd one sitting behind us when the guy's not using his ticket to gives it to somebody, and the cunt knows everything about everything that's ever fucking happened in the world, and he just fucking berates anything that's happening in the green white shirt on the park. And I just turned around to him one day and says, well, you just fuck off and sit somewhere else the next time you're here burning cunt. Fucking
I can't believe you talked to Paul Larkin like that.
Drive.
Jesus, George.
By the way, Larkin would be one of the most positive at a Celtic game. He wouldn't slate a Celtic.
It was a joke.
I know.
But we've all seen those people, and you're just looking at them going like, Jesus fuck, mate. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it really is different if it's a Ronnie Dale type season or the fucking COVID season or something. Well, you can understand that. Maybe if all the players are under par or.
That's when they blowhards come into their own, into it. Fucking told you so. Sit back
That's
in
like
the throne.
that's like their it's like their time has arrived, Jason. You know what I mean? They're waiting on this season their whole lives. So we are, and you can understand that. Like if you're going through a bad season, well, fair enough. And like Yang has been getting grief like fuck every game. And in fairness, like you can fucking see why. But at a game, you wouldn't be giving them abuse. You know what I mean? We can sit here 2
All right,
days,
well, we have
3
sat
days
here
later,
and
and
doubted Brendan
analyze a match,
Rodgers
talk
over
ball.
Yang.
Exactly. Yang doesn't give two fucks what I say about him. So I mean, God bless him. It's great to see him coming onto his own. But like to be so relentlessly negative in such a positive time as being a Celtic supporter is fucking. It's crackers. Like there's definitely sort of a fucking not a phobia. There's another word for it, like a psychosis about that. Where you're going out of your way to find bad stuff. And the other thing is too, like we've started letting in goals and everybody's like outraged. And it was actually some cunt on BBC Scotland said last week. He said like, other teams score goals in football. No team goes through the whole fucking year not scoring. Like goals will be scored. What the fuck? Like it's just normal. And as long as your team's scoring more goals than the other guys, you're all right. Do you know what I mean? So
that kind of speaks to the conversation we had before this podcast about like kids football, going like
exactly.
coaches freaking out, coaches being like, see when you have fans or like coaches like losing a goal is the fucking worst thing in the world. You're going like, well, that's going to happen.
It's
a fucking
100%. 100% It's nuts. Like, so we've loads to be positive for, and like we sit here, we do genuinely be critical. We say, well, that was wrong, or he was shite. Like I've been fucking hard on Hatate this year because he has been shite. Do you know what I mean? And I said it the other week here. If you look around the whole team, apart from Maeda, who's having an absolute fucking worldie of a season, if you look at Hatate and if you look at Engels and you look at McGregor and you look at Carter Vickers and all, you could pick on an individual player and point out the part of the season where he has been, not maybe fucking diabolical, but where he just hasn't been firing on all cylinders. And for us to be where we are in a season like that, where you can't really pinpoint, like Kuhn was amazing up to Halloween, then he fell off. Then Maeda fucking come on to his own. Now we've got Jada back. So you're having all these players who have massive contributions at different parts of the season. But overall, as a squad, we haven't really fucking, like people were slabbering with Cal McGregor last week. And you're going like, I know, but fucking look at the league. Look at the fucking league table. I know, but even if he is knackered, like look at the fucking league table. As Scott says, the squad is being squeezed for every ounce of energy and talent and ability and determination. It's all been fucking wrung out of them all year. And you made the point, there's an extra fucking over 24 matches that you would be playing if you weren't at this standard of football. So it's an incredible achievement to be where we are, sitting pretty in March, 2 games away or 3 games away from winning the league. Before your Easter eggs are getting fucking broken into, you know what I mean? Before you're cracking the lamp.
So see,
before creamy eggs cracked.
You're right, Marty. But see, getting back to a point you made, Scott, about Hatate, right, when McGregor went off. I thought that was interesting because I was actually thinking exactly the same thing because he wasn't good at the start of the game in the first half. But at the end of the game, like the boys put out a Yang for his first. And like he seemed to sort of kind of boss the midfield a bit, kind of near the end. But obviously McGregor went off in 65 minutes.
It's where you want to take that conversation, Jason. The conversation is Hatate strangled by his positional sense in terms of McGregor kind of floating it about? Is Hatate a better player without McGregor? Is McGregor on the decline? Which I think let's be brutally honest about it. At 32 going on 33, naturally you would always say yes. Players generally don't get better the older they get, and like after the 30s. Do you know what I mean? But
time waits for no man.
I think he's in a very slight decline, right? Because he's still top draw.
Jason, right? People need to stop being so precious about stating the obvious. and I'm not saying that about you, but you kind of just summed it up that people are kind of, it's a slight decline. It's a decline. Right? We're all big boys. Even Callum McGregor would kind of get it, and he'd want to prove people wrong. But the older people get the things that they've done for, and the fact that we run McGregor into the deck, won't he?
That's what I was going to say. I think he's going to be better than
so this put right. One of the greatest football players we've ever seen plays for Real Madrid the new. Luka Modric, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Luka Modric is only getting his flowers recently in the later stages of his career. If anything, Luka Modric, whilst everybody thought he was a sensational football player, it was only when Luka Modric hitting 31, 32 that people started going, fuck me, this boy's wild, man. Because he's playing in the top team in the world and his talents have been showcased, and that allowed him to be so sublime for Croatia as well. But the fact of the matter is, he's old enough now that he's playing cameos for Real Madrid. And that's been the case the last few years. They've got guys ready to come in. And see, to be honest, it's no any slight on Callum McGregor to say we need to be kind of making sure in 3 years' time or 2 years' time or 1 year that we're ready to kind of move on.
And again, Scott,
we've done it with Brown. Sorry.
Yes, no, I completely agree with you. See everything you said there, spot on. The other thing is too.
Wait, no, sorry, Marty, can I interrupt 2 seconds?
Yes,
PJ, fuck up. We never said we were selling them. We're just talking about the long-term replacement of Cal.
No,
actually,
far from selling them. This was the point I was just about to make. Do you see our bench? Right, our bench is fairly weak. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad, but it's at the standards of football that we want to be aiming towards. It's kind of weak. So could you imagine if you're starting to rotate Callum McGregor out of the fucking team?
Yeah.
And you have a half an hour to fucking go, and you bring Callum McGregor on. Like, that's what I'm talking
100%.
about. Like, you still have a fucking top quality player who cannot play 90 minutes anymore, but can give you 30 minutes of the greatest football of his life.
But Marty,
do you know what I mean?
Let's catch ourselves before we kind of go a bit too far. Right now, Callum McGregor can play 90 minutes.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
But before we get to the stage of Callum McGregor comes on, Callum McGregor should be starting games for us and dictating play. But once that game to the point of like to we think that maybe he's not having the same influence or the game's done, we should be taking Callum McGregor off rather than he's a captain, we've got to keep him on.
We're going to kill him. We're going to fucking murder him there.
The captain thing, especially since you brought in guys like Joe Hart, you've got CCV there, you've got Alistair Johnson, you're bringing back Kieran Tierney. Arnie Engels ultimately isn't going to be Celtic captain, but if Arnie Engels said tomorrow, give me a 6-year contract, I'm staying here for 6 years, you wouldn't be short in giving that young man the captaincy in a couple of years because that boy's shooting for stars.
100%.
So we've got captains on the bench, and I don't think Callum McGregor is that much an arsehole that we go, this is bollocks. Callum McGregor has been a phenomenal player, and there's me doing the same thing I was just saying about Jason. You feel you've almost to say that we've kind of got to look beyond him at some stage. You still have to preface it with, don't get me wrong, I'm not slagging him, but we're talking the truth, aren't we, guys? We're not saying
it definitely annoys me, Scott, that he doesn't get took off after 60 minutes when the game's won. It's as if like you can't take him off, and it's like the crowd gets up and gives the boy a standing ovation because he should be getting used sparingly in these situations.
Yeah.
You know, you look at him against Bayern Munich, he was world class. You know, he was outstanding. So he's got it in abundance, right? He's got nothing to prove to anybody. When we've got a game sewn up 60 minutes, get him off the park, save him, save his legs. Yeah. You get another 2 years out of him.
Yep. And the other thing is, too, Jason, you pointed out again, an extra nearly 2 dozen matches, but he saved himself a dozen matches by not playing for fucking Scotland. So, do you know what I mean? It's like fucking, do your best to keep this kid in the game as long as we can. And we actually have precedent for doing this as a club. We did it with Tom Boyd. We rotated Tom Boyd out and rotated Paul Lambert in. And then we did the same thing with Paul Lambert. We rotated him out. And Lennon came in and Lambert was one of those ones who fucking went and did his coaching badges and stuff like that while he was still a Celtic player. And that's the sort of thing that Callum McGregor should be, contemplating too, because he's a smart kid. We should be keeping him in the youth setup. Let him go and fucking train kids during the week as well.
Marty, right. Hold that thought, because I listened to the pod for last week where you were talking about the thing I was talking about. He was talking about the thing you but the job for the boys thing comes up time and time again when it comes to Celtic, and we need to. We need to kind of shuck away from that. However, jobs for the boys when you're giving it to no harm to Darna D. Do you know what I mean? On Stephen McManus. Callum McGregor is arguably one of our greatest ever.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So keeping the guys who knows what the standard is, who knows what it is to be the top level, who knows what it is to walk up there. I mean,
like that.
They harm P. Davidson. I don't know who your kid, but you're saying McGregor's too quiet as a captain. See when Callum McGregor's standing in that, we've all seen from afar, and he's standing there and he's telling them, and you can see him pointing. Callum McGregor's done all right as a captain, I think, personally. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think that's bullshit that he's too quiet as a captain.
Well, you see, we all saw that documentary. He wasn't quiet at all. Like, he was shouting and roaring at the team in the world class fucking basics arena, whatever the fuck it's called, that dressing room part that we're in, and Rodgers was just giving them the floor and allowing him to, he was reiterating all the talking points that Rodgers was going over and key parts of the matches that were coming up and blah blah blah. So to me, that's not a quiet guy. He was very comfortable in that position, and we were laughing about he had wee ticks in his voice and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? Fair enough. Fuck me. That's like. Nobody can understand the word Paul Lambert fucking said, but he was a decent captain for Celtic.
Danny McGrain.
Yeah.
Danny McGrain in the huddle. You can't even hear anybody speak in general. And he's speaking to you. Like, what the
that was long before the huddle, to be fair, Joe. Danny would have been fucked with the huddle.
Do you know what I
mean? Imagine Danny with the huddle.
What is it?
Is there a dog here?
In the grand scheme of football, the new, what is a captain? I mean, I've often thought a captain's role is somewhat overblown, is it not?
Well, when we had right, so see, there's 2 points to make here. One, again, to go back when O'Neill was here, nearly every player in that pitch was a captain. You could have put the armband on anybody. Johan Mjalby, Larson, fucking, you could have took your pick of captains from that team. But also too, right, so having that mindset, and that's the Huns have been actually moaning about this. Their fans have been saying this. We don't have anybody who encapsulates our club anymore. What are we about? And I'm not talking about the bigotry stuff. Actually, just as a football club, what are we about? What is our fucking stamp as a football club? Who are we? We have no philosophy. There's nobody there, and that's why they've went out and brought in fucking Baza and Neil McCann and fucking they've brought back all these
preachers.
All the Hun direction to try and get the band back together, because you've just got a collection of players on the pitch who haven't gelled. They do have decent players who shine occasionally, like Cerny and Dessers and stuff like that, but there's no football philosophy at all. Where Celtic does. Rodgers has put that mark on us. This is how we play. Postecoglou had it before him, and players like McGregor just encapsulate that. And again, I'm not averse to bringing players back if they're the right fucking players. Do you know what I mean? Or if they're intelligent and if they can see football in a certain way. And people moan about Kodo, he's got his coaching badges and stuff like that, but stuff like that's actually really good because it makes you think. And if you're doing your coaching badges, like you see them in Belfast every year, you're mixing with other coaches and you're mixing with, really top level players who want to become coaches. So at that level, they're sharing ideas and they're telling people, that as part of the classes that they do, they have to actually, present and say, here's what we did, here's what I think worked well, here's what I think didn't work well. It's a very, very febrile environment. They're all kind of learning from each other.
Febrile.
And
I fucking like
Febraile's
that
a
one,
good
Marty
fucking
boy.
word. I can't
Oh,
steal
you know what I mean?
I'd
It's,
keep that
it's like a fucking
Febrile.
brain. It's like a brains trust. Do you
That's
know
one
what I
of
mean?
the next team meeting.
one.
You know what I mean? They're in
Get
together.
Magnus, sneak your fucking heart out, son.
It was a Febrile.
You know what I mean? It's like a fucking brains trust. They're all learning from each other, and it's good. Now, see if you're a fucking moron, you're not going to make it as a coach. We all know them. We've seen them. We've seen them get top jobs in football, and you go, he's never going to last. He's a fucking gimp. Do you know what I mean? But there's other players too who maybe weren't the greatest players on the field, but who think about football, who are smart about things and pick up quickly and can make adjustments and stuff like that too. Cal McGregor is all of those things. He's intelligent. He's a top-class footballer. He's played at the highest level. He's played under amazing managers. He's played under fucking not-so-amazing managers as well. So you would always think he'd be picking up bits and pieces here of what and what not to do. And you could 100% see Cal McGregor getting into football management. Like, as Scott says, he's 33. Come 33 and when he's 43 or 53, you could fucking see him being in football. Well, there's other players who are looking going, he's not getting into football. There's not a fucking chance. You know what I mean? He's an athlete. He doesn't have all the other ring smarts really that you need to be a manager. And I think we should, the likes of him, that's what you were saying to him, listen, there's a coaching path here for you. Go do your badges, you can still play, blah blah blah. And that's it. I was actually really disappointed in Lambert because he just fucked off once he got his coaching badges. Do you know what I mean? He always said he would never come back. He never wanted to manage in Glasgow. And I always thought that was a shame because he is a decent manager. He's a decent coach and a brilliant player, you know, and he played at the highest level. I always felt that was a bit of a fucking shame.
It's definitely an interesting debate. I mean, again, Pete Davidson, he's kind of flinging up a kind of, mate, I'm not digging you because...
Hold on. For the listeners, you better read out what he fucking says.
Right, so sorry, we've got the chat on the side, and this is coming in from the YouTube comments and stuff like that, and he basically says McGregor's too quiet as a captain because he says, my point is during games he doesn't put pressure on refs. It's safe decisions is what I mean. I'm not saying he's not been a great player captain, but I think at times we're getting held back with McGregor because he's not as mobile, etc., and playing him every game. So I mean, what he's saying is fair enough, but I think it'll often stick in somebody's throat when you do start kind of over-analysing guys later on in their career. But it is a fair comment, as we're all saying, that Celtic need to protect themselves and we need to look. Let's not kid ourselves on. We would all love Celtic to be full of top-notch 22-year-olds who are all busting their ass, but you need that bit of experience in there. Cal McGregor is easing us into, hopefully, the next stage, because I think I've been quite open in the Scott Brown thing. I wasn't a great fan of Scott Brown as a football player. Brendan Rodgers totally revolutionised him for me.
I was the same as you, Scott.
Right? Well, that's it. He totally revolutionised it to me.
He became an absolute Celtic legend. But
to
before then, I was in your camp.
To the point that I really do. The ambassador he has become for our club is quite wonderful. But if we done the best 11 you've seen and you had Scott Brown or Callum McGregor, I'd have Callum McGregor every day of the week. So the next stage for Celtic is making sure the guy who takes his jersey is better, which is quite a fucking thing to aim for. But that's where we are now. I mean, we spoke about Greg Taylor. I think Greg Taylor's been a great player for Celtic. And we're replacing Greg Taylor with Kieran Tierney. Now, touch wood, Kieran manages to go over these wee injuries he's been getting, but that's an upgrade. We had Palmer, we've replaced him with Jota. That's an upgrade. Let's be honest about it right now. Kyogo being replaced with Maeda, it's an upgrade. And that's what we've got today. Engels coming in is an upgrade. So the next guy in line, I mean, I love wee McCowan. I love him dearly. Is McCowan coming in to take the jersey?
That's what I said about
Joe, but I don't think so, Joe. I don't think so.
No. I see it.
I hope you're right. It would be great. I mean, I was kind of going to take it a different topic, but we can come to that in time. No, I think McCowan. I hope I'm wrong. I think McCowan's got a ceiling. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he proves me 100% wrong. I really do, because I really like him. But
you've pushed my sore tooth there, so you have.
I think Luke McCowan's an unbelievable signing for £1 million, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think people were getting way overboard, because he's a really good player and he'll do a job for us. But is he going to be a stalwart going forward for Celtic? I kind of don't think so. But I think he's going to be an amazing addition to the squad, and he's going to be a Mr. Reliable, and I think he'll be there potentially for the rest of his career. And I think he won't be battering doors down to make sure he's starting every week, but he'll always be a guy, if somebody gets injured, that he'll come on and he'll chip in with a good few goals every season. And I think we need day players, but I don't think he's going to take on a captain's armband or anything like that. I just don't think so for a minute.
Right away. So I presume we're done with St Mirren. Because I know we've not even talked about Yang. Who wants to talk about Yang?
Youngster. Yeah, the youngster.
I tell you who we never mentioned as well, Kasper Schmeichel. Yeah. Because he let 2 goals in, but fucking nobody could have saved him. You know, the free kick was an absolute belter, and then the other one was just an absolute freak. So I don't think he was culpable for any of the 2 of them, but he made some that one for that Olasanya right through. It was a great save. But did any's listen to that Gary Neville podcast with him?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Yeah, I watched it, mate.
Thought it was. I just listened to it when I was out walking toffee, but I thought it was really interesting. Thought he came across really well, and he kind of made some great points. And now somebody tells us he was an ignorant bastard and stuff like that. But it kind of comes through because he's kind of focused to fuck, and he's right, like, you know, and he's on about the arrogance and that you need to have it. And it was interesting to get the goalie's mindset and the pressure that he was under when he was on loan for Man City, because he was playing for guys' win bonuses and stuff like that. And being a goalie, you know, you need to fucking have perfection or you're letting the team down. I thought it was really, really interesting. And I wish they'd done more of the Celtic stuff. They didn't really do much on Celtic. I was hoping.
It's quite frustrating, that show, because they had Martin and Elon, and they never really
that's right.
went mad on the Celtic stuff, which is frustrating considering you've got Ian Wright and Roy Keane there. But I remember watching
Roy Keane, the Juventus.
What's that?
Roy Keane, the Juventus fan.
But I remember watching when Gary Neville done the walk-in interview with Wayne Rooney, and he said to him, "Who's the team that you regret not playing for?" And he says Celtic. And you would have thought he's shouting Gary Neville's pipe.
Oh no,
Gary Neville was like, what? So Gary Neville, it's his boss. So obviously he's dictating what's happening and where is it going. So I don't think he really wants to talk about. I think he wants to keep it. But I thought it was a really great interview. The Anderlecht thing. I mean, I don't know if we wanted. If Joe's not listening to it, I don't think it's fair to kind of.
I don't mind.
Fuck you, and I'm not going to listen to it. Hurry up.
Exactly. Fuck Joe.
So basically, he was saying he was at Anderlecht, and the manager said to him, "See, when we've got the ball, I want you to become the third defender, but play on the right of defence." And he kind of double taked and looked at the manager. He's like, "What?" And he's like, "Aye. When we've got the ball, I want you to become a third defender, come out the goal and go and stand in a back 3. And he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because you can ping the ball and everybody else is getting man marked. So if they come on to you, then we're freeing up a player." And he says they were 3-0 up at half time, and the manager says, "Right, you get back into goals." He says it worked a treat. Absolutely, and you could see everybody sitting there going, "No way." Everyone, and Roy Keane, Jamie Carragher, Neville, they were all like, "What are you getting on?" It was, but he's a different level for Joe Hart. Joe Hart, I don't think he's as emotional as Joe Hart.
Oh, no, definitely. He's kind of cold-hearted.
He's made a machine, but But it's so interesting, Jason, when he was talking about, he says that we're playing a game every 3 days, and now we're going back to a game every weekend. But I'm spewing. I'm like, I just want to play. I just want to play games. I want to play games. I don't want to train.
Aye. And how he was raging letting that goaler against Aberdeen, because obviously
it's such a good show.
Aye. No, it was really good, but right good insight. And but I agree with, see your Neville. Your Neville's just a typical fucking bog-headed English cunt that doesn't really rate Scottish football. That's what it comes across to me. Like,
definitely. Sorry, Jason. I really I watch everything they put out. I'm a liar. The day the woman's one, I kind of body swear that. But I listen to generally everything else, and I watch all the shows, and it's see, but he's that tied in with Sky that the script with Sky. There's no, it's EPL. Even though they show your games, it's still EPL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, if he had his own way, not his own way, but like if he was the kind of, he wouldn't have a woman jail on it, would he? Like,
well, she's ticking the box, isn't she?
That's what I mean. That's not a criticism. It's just the truth.
The irony, Joe, is she no like got over like 100 England women caps?
She's
really entertaining though as well.
Yeah, see that's the point. There's other women out there who've got something to say, and I think they're pretty decent. There's some garbage out there. Do you know what I mean? Like Aluko's god awful, shouldn't be on the telly. I mean, there is box ticking. We know that. I mean, we've always known that, and that's just how the world is. But I love it. I think it's a great show.
Yeah, I think she's really good. The bit she was on about Thierry Henry's aftershave, that was brilliant. they were in it. How she smelled amazing. And they're like, how did you know?
No, it was like it was wasn't it?
Patrick Vieira, was it?
Patrick Vieira, that was all right.
Patrick Vieira, that's what it was. Right, no, it's good.
But to go back to Schmeichel, I don't know if you remember in the summer. I'll tell you, it'd be good this year to kind of maybe go and have a wee look back and see what we did say about all the signings. But Schmeichel, I was underimpressed with signing Schmeichel. It seemed a job for the boys. Why did he not stay at Nice? Why did he not stay at Anderlecht? I didn't understand it. And we were struggling for a keeper, and we got him. And Liam was all in, and I'll put my hand up with Liam. He was bang on the button. I mean, Schmeichel's been an amazing signing for us. I would say right now he's been player of the season, because he's been bang on all season. So far, I mean, we've still got a bit to go. He could make a big fucking arse it, but I think what a signing he's been. And as you say, Jason, see that free kick? Nobody's saving it. I clapped that free kick.
I
was one of the gimps at the game. Oh, what a free kick! You know what I mean?
Do you know? Funny enough, I remember being at Goodison quite a few times and see if the away team would score on that. No, recently, but see, like maybe 15 years ago. See if the away team would score an absolute peach. There'd be loads of Everton fans would clap in the stands. I thought it was kind of brilliant. It was kind of class for them, because the thing I noticed when you're doing
brilliant for me, is that what you're saying?
Aye,
Thanks,
it's a wee bit of class, If the guy scores an absolute winder, you're like, fair play. But I think Anky's been excellent, and I think he's a cold-hearted winner, and it came across there, and it's like he's dedicated to his craft. And I thought it was interesting where he gave the relationship between him and his dad. He says, no, he's just my dad. He says, because I didn't want to get there, because he was talking about, he says, my dad's massive. He says, so he commanded these penalty boxes for crosses, and I thought it was interesting. He's like, that's not a part of my game. He says, I can't command the penalty box. He says, I need to be a different type of goalkeeper. So he says, he says, is my role model as a human being, but no basing my game on him. So, it's really good. I really enjoyed it, and he came across really well. And
what was it?
What you have him.
Remember back in the day we used to give recommendations. That's our recommendation. Go and watch that. We'll put a link in the description or whatever.
Roy Keane's still a dick.
I like him.
Fucking Juventus supporter. Get the fuck.
But then they showed his phone and his grandkid is in a full Celtic kit sleeping. I mean,
No, I know, but that's just because he's his grandkid. I mean, like.
So it's got through.
Did he put clays on the grandkid?
I don't know, Scott. I'm not trying to say that, but like,
I
think Roy Keane. People always say Roy Keane played for Celtic. I am the opinion that Roy Keane wore a Celtic kit.
Oh, come here, shite. See, that's bollocks, man. I want Roy Keane, right? Albeit the Clyde game was muck. Roy Keane was good for. See that game at Ibrox? He bossed that game.
One game at all, Scott.
What are you saying?
One game that doesn't do it all. Like,
what about the other games he played? Like,
it was a very ordinary fucking period in Celtic
history. I'll tell you, Joe. What? What'd you say there?
It was an ordinary period, like.
You're off your nut, mate. Swear to God. Right, see when Roy Keane decided to retire, I was gutted because I thought he'd another year in him and he would have bossed that midfield for us. Easy peasy. I mean, I was well, especially after the way it started against Clyde, and I was up there that day. But Roy Keane's, I thought Roy Keane had, what was it, 6 months? Was it even 6 months?
Was it even now? I think it was finished before the end of the season, no?
We said he knew he was done.
That's fair,
aye.
He played his own fucking testimonial train. That was that not at the end of the season?
That was Old Trafford, He 10 appearances.
13 appearances, liar.
13.
I had a captain for another year. He strolled it at Ibrox that time. He fucking absolutely strolled it.
And if it definitely, because we were getting a fucking top class player. You know, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. You know, that's not even up for debate. He was fucking class. You know, what a player he was. You know.
Hold on a second. You just got from Roy Keane's a dick. Nice fucking.
That's got none of Davies' football ability. It was about when he came out and says, "I don't support Celtic. I don't support Man United." They pinned him down. Who would you say he did support? I was waiting in Cork City, right? And I'd have been fine with that. Juventus. You fuck off, you fucking dick.
See his phone. I seen a thing on that.
He was 34 when he played for us.
I seen a thing on the. He was in that overlap last week, and they showed his new phone, and he had a Celtic.
No, that's what we're just talking about there. It was his grandway, nah.
With the jersey on. No, man.
That's
good.
That's good. So, by the way, another shameless plug as well. So, obviously, I'm involved with the Tommy Gemmell statue. Everybody listen to the official Celtic podcast. They get released today, and it's Martin McCrum and Mary Gemmell talk about the statue going up in the Tommy Gemmell community project. It's really, really good.
Listening to that,
Jason, I'll give you your due, mate, right? You say statue all the time, and I love it. I don't know why. I say statue, but you say statue, and I think it sounds much better. It's like my dad used to say cran, and I was like, I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? That big cran.
See Lund as well, man. Fucking, but he's one of these a right old type Scottish accent, right? You're up to the board, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm out in Florida with them, but we're in this place, Cocoa Beach. It's not really. It's all like American fucking holiday makers. It's the nearest beach to Orlando, but you don't really get many fucking Europe Brits or Irish or that to go there. So we're in this bar, and it's just all Yanks. And he'd been going there for fucking years, right? So I'm sitting at the bar, and the lads come, what do you want? I says, yeah, we'll have 2 beers now. I just wanted to eat one of them up there, head. She don't got a fucking clue what he's saying. The boy up the end of the bar is drink, man. The same as that boy at the end of the bar. And he's like a Gatling gun, right? And I'm like, Dave, she fucking can't understand you. Oh, fucking dollars. And like, you're just like, fuck's sake. So
but see, that's brilliant. I mean,
he doesn't change for Andy.
We Marty on this. Marty loves, I think you love the Scottish, the Glasgow accent, didn't you, Marty?
Oh, yes. 100%.
I mean, remember the time, though, that you say you get the taxi, you were coming through the Vogue, you get the taxi, and the boy was like, he kept calling you Jimmy. And you're like,
Aye, hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
That's fucking brilliant. And I says, do you have can't call me Jimmy the whole way? And he's going, that used to be like common Glasgow patter. Like
That's
everybody
it.
was just like,
Aye.
Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy, how's it going?
Fuck ass and stitches. And then you get the taxi drivers who can't tell you. There's no point telling them what street. I need to go to such and such street. And he goes, no, you need to tell me a bar. What? What the fuck? No, mate, I need a bar. If you find me a bar, I can take it, no problem. But I can't. Don't be telling me the fucking street.
Change all the streets on us, mate. That's it.
So the interview on that official Celtic podcast, right? It is brilliant. And then at the end of it, there's an interview with Tommy with Jim Craig interviewing him. That's class as well at the end. It's really good.
Yeah.
And there's also a bit in it, right? I'll not waste it for MD, but there's a right poignant bit in it that I don't know if I've shared it with you guys before, but it's something that's going to be mega special about this start. You're gonna proper special. So, and they tell it in the podcast. So, just get a wee
why is it achieved in such a short amount of time? Just it's fucking monumental. Like in fairness, it's quite like it's quite amazing. Like, I mean, it takes a lot of effort to make that shit happen, right? Just by sheer will and fucking like force, you just fucking went right. This is happening, and
yeah.
I mean, commend yourselves, I think. I mean,
it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but we're getting there. Well, we're at the end of the day, the statue's at the design stage at the minute, and all
Did
good.
you, I doubt he's would have, but the bold Joe Martin was on the Celtic Exchange.
I need to listen to it.
Aye, go and watch it or listen to it. It's good, man. Joe does as well. Joe's Joe, and he fucking hell, man. What's the point? Joe's a superstar, and do you know what's great, right? And we do this podcast, and we all know the script. We don't promote this because this is for us. Do you know what I mean? This is for us and all you clowns that listen to us, and God bless everyone is. But the Celtic Exchange have got a grander appeal out there. They don't swear, Marty. Jason doesn't trust them.
Aye.
Right? So you know what I mean?
For the watching.
Aye. But he's on there and he's talking about he's telling the origins about it, and he's talking about Big Brian and all that, and he does himself, and as always he does himself proud, and the amount of people I've seen who are replying to it on the day and replying to it, oh, I didn't know, I always wondered who the wee Waynes were, and he's still promoting the message and he's still kind of selling it. So well done Tino, well done the Celtic Exchange for getting him on and promoting the message. I mean, I can't believe people still don't know what a Kano is. It's madness in my head, but obviously it doesn't. So well done the Celtic Exchange, well done Joe yourself, and up a Kano.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Let's go to Yang.
Let's go to Yang.
Yang's getting his hole.
Aye.
Jake the Hawk still listening, Marty?
Oh, aye, he lives in the house. Yep.
Is he still listening? Hawk?
Oh, the Hawks on the road making stomach pancakes.
Hawk, fuck the Tories and fuck Labour. Fuck them. Aye, so I mean, let's be honest about Yang, right? Let's cut all the bullshit.
Right.
We signed Yang for £2.5 million. I done a review of all those signings, and I was quite hopeful of Yang. For everything I'd seen about him, he showed hundreds and hundreds of energy. The biggest standouts for Yang wasn't actually his attacking, was the fact he played wide and he was quite willing to go back and dig in for the team. We spent £2.5 million from him. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's done his military service either. So that's... I could be wrong. I'd need to go back and double check that.
Can't you get that excused though? At a certain
you can
level?
get excused if you win the Olympics.
So it's basically Yang MIA.
By the way, I'm pretty certain about that.
Shave his head, give him a fucking orange wig, and say, "This is like Yang." That's a shameless old shot to see.
So He's a wrestler now. But I remember watching him, right? And let's be honest about it. He fell foul of the support in the same way as all the rest of our signings that summer fell foul of sport. But we played St Johnstone away. We ended up winning 3-1. Matt O'Reilly scored an absolute peach. I think the captain got his back net that day. Cal Mack scored one. But we were 1-0 down at half time. And his performance in the first half was awful. And it wasn't awful in the typical awful in terms of like now we've all watched games where the ball bounces off somebody's feet, he can't get under control, he passes the ball, it passes to their players. He had hundreds and hundreds of the ball but done nothing with it. Like he would beat a man and he would go nowhere, he would run into a blind alley, he would run in the wrong direction where we kind of needed him to go. And I remember I actually said on this, I'm pretty confident I said on this, was he almost needed to just become more and more selfish and get the ball and just shoot and try things. And the irony being that continued, that state of play continued right into this season. Some people were saying to me they just didn't see anything in him. And I've listened to all you guys, and no matter how, because I gave up on him at one point, I got to the point I'm thinking that see if he's not going to offer us anything, well, there's no point in being here. Do you know what I mean? Even
our point was always, Scott, though, that if Brendan sees something, well, then we must be idiots.
No, I know, but we can come to that, Joe. But let's be honest about it. Let's disregard that, right? Because see that's an easy excuse. We all watch games. So if you start going like that, like, oh, I don't know nothing because he's a football manager, I'm no. Fuck off. Why are we doing the homeboys? You know what I mean? Why? Fucking hell, man. Why are we doing podcasts if you're going to sit there and go,
folks, that's a good fucking question. Good night, folks.
I can get furious.
There they go.
This is why these podcasts are here, because we're here to poke things and we're here to ask questions. You know what I mean? It's the day we start just accepting that the manager knows best, football fans want to fling themselves in the fucking river, you know what I mean?
And as you mentioned, us with our esteemed opinions of the homeboys, Skip tells us we got a mention on fucking Radio Clyde tonight.
That's it, we're going to miss you, boys.
You know what that is?
That's on BBC. We're getting name checked on fucking. Penny, it's coming.
Well, it's like fucking end of day stuff. I'd like fuck me. Fucking hell, man.
Can you imagine what I was phoned in one day?
I used to phone in years ago, Scott. Remember, I used to phone in and rip things apart.
Hey, I'll tell you who I've got on my Facebook. The Bull Laurie for Dennis.
The Bull Laurie? Evening panel.
You keep him on your Facebook.
Hey, honest to God, hey, Scott, I've had a pint with him a few times, right? He's a lovely guy, right? Drinks and Sean's sister's pub. He posted on Facebook today, you know what t-shirt he's wearing? Well, Celtic, Everton, bobble hacks, and Evertonian as well.
Good evening, panel.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I don't mind Laurie. Laurie's all right.
I don't listen to the show anywhere enough to have an opinion.
There's a guy on TikTok, right?
I think he's changed himself from Laurie from quarantine. I think he's moved house. Sorry,
there's a guy on TikTok I watch called Ollie Cole, right? And what he does is he uses socialism and Marxism to look at football, right? And he's a professor of like social geography and stuff like that there. And but he's a mad Everton fan. Every time he's on, he has the best Everton t-shirt I've ever seen. Every single video, he's got some class Everton t-shirt. That's a fucking belter. One was cans of beer, and it was all different Everton kits. I was like, that's a fucking belter.
Joe, I'm going to take umbrage to what you just said there.
What?
Every time he comes on, he's got the best Everton t-shirt, but he's got a different one on every week. So
pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
So what's the best one then?
The next one.
I'm joking as well. You thought you were painting yourself into a corner there. You just found a big gap.
Bob and Weave. My best friends. Bob Andway.
It makes no fucking sense. Remember, your lazy butts are in this too. Get up in that wagon, we're going up north to put the word in the streets.
And I'm hoping that you're with me, and I'm joking desperately, and I'm joking
Where's my
that
guitar?
you come. And it's ladies' night at the Palace Hotel Ballroom.
Oh, wait now. I never saw anything in him, to be fair. Glad to have been proven wrong. Welcome to the room, Big Shawnee boy.
Big shot. Big, you
Yes.
you stick to baseball and basketball and stuff like that.
That was a fair way, fuckwit.
Swing, bada, 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 swing.
Big Sean's getting it
But-
right.
But the point is, I don't think there was anybody on here who said Yang is hopeless.
Oh no,
Not
you
one,
mean-
not one. Not one.
You know,
said it.
you know what?
That's it.
I think I might have got close to that though. at
Hold
one
on,
point.
it said what?
He was hopeless.
I fucking said he was hopeless.
That's what I think.
I actually said the other week, he's the only player I've ever seen that can beat 10 players and end up back where he started.
So,
Aye.
no, you did say that.
He's beating 10
Fucking
players.
But
totally.
see the beating 10 players means he's no
Aye.
hopeless, Marty.
No,
You
no,
mean
but that, maybe not hopeless, but I genuinely was fucking baffled.
No, yeah,
by the
you
guy.
gave up on him. No. I've already said,
So-
I think we all kind of. If
Alright.
somebody if somebody's no giving us assists, if somebody isn't giving us goals, and somebody isn't giving us clean sheets, then aye, we're all ready to kind of bail on it. But we can't say that this guy wasn't a decent footer player. This guy is a decent footer player. And Brendan, to come back to Joe's point, Brendan Rodgers deserves all the credit because it would have been so easy to launch him out the door or stick him in the B team. No, it would have been so easy. And he's managed to make this guy an asset to the team. Now, is that asset going to propel us to stardom? He's still got a good bit to go. If I'm sitting here telling you that I don't think Luke McCowan, who has been really good for Celtic so far, I don't think he's the guy to take us to the next level, then Yang's got another 2 steps behind him. However, we've spoken about it in the past. If you're in the squad and you're not contributing, then I can't stick your face. But now the boys contributing, now the boys making a difference, and the squad like him. I like that about him as well. So well done, Yangers. You deserve every bit of credit you're getting. Yeah.
And here, and I'm very happy to eat humble pie. It's brilliant. See, whenever that happens and a player comes out of themselves,
That's
you'd
what
be
she
fucking-
said.
you'd be delighted.
I tell you, but what a tough. I mean, see the delight in his face when he's scoring the goals as well, you know. And obviously, he's no listening to fucking podcasts and stuff like that. So
No, as
he's maybe a bit protected, right? But he obviously understands he's underachieved for his game. Obviously, he knows he's got the ability. But bloody hell, I mean, his work rate was never in question. But it was just like we all thought, is he got a football brain at all? Because, as you said, Marty, you couldn't disagree with that. He went beat 10 players and end up back where he started and fucking expend some amount of energy in the process.
And
But,
he's knackered. Oh, he's like,
aye.
So
you'd see him trudging back to the halfway line, achieved the square root, fuck all, ran about fucking 3 kilometres.
that's it. No one of them fucking heat maps. He's like a snake. No, it's like playing Snake on the map here. But we've said it. Like I've contradicted myself a million times on this podcast where I've been saying we actually need to give players time. We need to let them fucking settle down. Blah blah blah. You know, and yet, but Yang's been here since Postecoglou. He's been here a long time. So it's
No. He signed under Rodgers.
today I thought he was on loan first, was he not?
No, he signed the summer
Was
Rodgers.
he in that summer? Sorry. Aye, so he was lined up by Postecoglou and signed in the summer, so he's been here a year and a half. You know, and he's young. And again, going back to what Luke McCown said at the press conference today, something as fucking simple as your girlfriend being about. Now I know we're all laughing about him fucking young jackhammers or something. But just to have somebody have company, have food. Like as he says, she's making his dinners for him and all. It's simple things in life, and that was the entire point of Luke McCown's press conference today. He was saying it's all the simple stuff. It's seeing the family more, resting, sleeping. You know that, and like there's no way. Always people always say Roger sees them in training. It's fucking true. He does see them in training, and he knows their backgrounds, and he knows what's going on in their lives. And some of us I certainly slated Scott Brown for fucking years when he first arrived at Celtic, not realizing what was happening in the fella's private life, and him now looking back on him with such admiration to see actually how did you come through that, what was happening with you, taking the abuse from your own fans and taking the abuse from the Huns at the fucking same time. He's an incredible man, and Scott's entirely right. We come on here every week half drunk, talk balls, like we're in a bar, like friends would, but we say it to an audience of a couple of thousand people every week. So it's like a bar. It's not like a bar where we have a privileged position where we're talking shit to the masses, but we don't always get it right, and we're always. I always think we're very fair on players. I don't think we really ever slaughter anybody. We don't really ever. We kept people going through the COVID season. We tried to lift people's spirits and keep them happy, that sort of thing. So we're not Debbie Downers all the time. And sometimes players fucking actually need
That's
to be
because we've been
criticised.
Liam.
Liam,
No, but I think we did shit on Shane Duffy at a certain point.
but
He fucking deserved every bit.
He did deserve it, though.
See, in fairness, Joe, I think he started
it. But even Shane Duffy, we all wanted Shane Duffy to do well.
100%.
He was just fucking terrible. Do you know what I mean? So none of us were out to get him from the word go, like we were with Kenny Miller. You know what I mean? I always feel when people say, "Yes, you're on there fucking 9 minutes later," and I'm going, but if you actually listen to us, that's not true. We always try and give players space to develop, and I've been critical of Maida, and I've ate all sorts of humble pie this year. It's brilliant seeing that man come into himself. Watching
it's a good wee segue, that, Marty, right? Because Scott, you were on last week, and with the conversation with Liam, we're talking about who could leave, etc., right? And Liam titled his opinion. He doesn't think they'll be big. He says Maida's worth millions to us, but he's not worth multi-millions to other clubs. And I find that a bit bizarre. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Do you think after they're all talk this week about the Bayern Munich players were fucking raving about him, about his work rate and stuff like that? I just cannot not see a big bid coming in for him at the end of the season. I think some team will just come in and say, get that guy. Whether he'll leave or not, and whether Celtic give him an improved deal, match his ambitions and whatever, and by all accounts his family's in Glasgow now, he's settled, and fingers crossed he doesn't want to go anywhere, but what do you think, Scott, because you weren't on last week, do you think there's a potential for a big bid to come in for Maida?
Honestly, right, so I listened to the pod in the last 3 days, right, split it up a bit, so I listened to the majority today, so it's still kind of fresh in my mind, and Liam's point, I mean, he stuck some facts behind it, and it is kind of hard to argue with.
His age, no, I get that. It didn't.
It's hard to argue with the age thing.
Yeah.
Especially coming from, see, to take it a wee tangent to try and give some background to my answer is football clubs now. So we were one step to get to England, and the next step was a lower team to get to the higher team. Virgil van Dijk, for example, Wanyama, they took a step to us to go to Southampton, to go to a bigger club, Tottenham, Liverpool. Yep. But clubs now seem to be wanting to, even the English clubs are all looking to take steps away. So you've got go look what Chelsea have done. Chelsea have spent billions on young guys to try and circumvent that need. They're all trying to buy younger and younger. So the age thing is relevant.
Aye.
But he is such a unique player.
That's exactly my point.
And the fact that he's doing it in the Champions League. The Champions League is where you sell players.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what we've done in the past, We sold Fraser Foster on the back of the Champions League. We sold Jota on the back of the Champions League. We sold Wanyama on the back. All these guys never get sold because they scored it. Lee Griffiths would have went for 20 odd million if it was that. You know what I mean? So Maeda is changing, and Maeda in modern day football, Maeda looks like a guy who could easily play till he's 38, 39, 40. Easily.
No with the same velocity, but
He's
but
27 now, so where's his peak, do you think?
That's
he's
it.
got another, I think he's got another 3 year left of doing what he's doing.
But where's the peak, though?
But there's where we sit now. Are we looking at his peak?
I don't know.
See when we signed Maeda was a top goal scorer in Japan. People forget that. People always forget that. We signed the top striker in Japan. He was a top goal scorer in Japan when we signed him, and we got him for buttons. And now we've got him. He's scoring goals. He's causing chaos in Europe. He's running down. It's madness because do you know that way that like see the I'm going to call him Tav, right? Because I still don't know what his real name is. So Tav, do you know that way we all kind of laugh because we're going, he's going to go in Tav again. He's going to go in, and I'm kind of going, one day it's not going to work. But it always does work. Do you know what I mean? It always, so see in Europe, we'll put them up front, and it worked. And I don't know if we've just hit I would be amazed if somebody didn't come in with decent dough for the boy this summer. I would be amazed. I do not want it to happen. So I'm to answer your question, I'm kind of sitting on the fence, Jason, because I don't know, because I've not heard anything. See, at this point, we already heard that O'Reilly was due to leave. At this point, we knew Jota was gone. At this point, we knew Wanyama was going.
Dejan doesn't everything fast, though. I mean, Dejan does everything quick. Everything happens.
Dejan was sold yesterday.
Dejan's wages are in the bank. 3
days. Dejan made his debut for Juventus last night.
Even the Hatate thing.
I see that tweet the other day. Dejan made it just completed Lent.
Do you know who I think he would be perfect for? Absolutely perfect for Atletico Madrid.
Why?
Because of the way Atletico Madrid play the game. He demands full-blooded running constantly, right? They aren't the same defensive unit which they are, so they like football on they still appreciate the quick counter, but they like to dominate the ball a wee bit more than they used to do under Simeone. But I think he would be perfect for them, and I think he would love them. Did you see Conor Gallagher making 2 tackles? Did you see that, Jason?
No, I didn't see that in the game.
Conor Gallagher made 2 challenges in a game for Atletico, and your man Diego Simeone was punching the air and screaming to the crowd, and he was punching the air, and the crowd all went bonkers. Imagine Maeda playing in that team. They would love him, man.
See, I would like to think we'd get 1 more year out of Maeda, simply because, like you said, he's settled, and also that sort of sense of Japanese loyalty to a degree. Honestly, a cultural sense of like, I will do the right thing.
I don't know.
I've said that
before. That part, I've only heard that. I don't know.
I know.
No, do you not think that makes sense, though?
I think to a certain extent, Joe. I think they're definitely, the Japanese people are more. They do come across effectively in the face of it, more loyal than people for this side of the world, and more respectful, etc. They come across that way, but I don't know. I've never been to Japan, so I've never immersed myself in Japanese culture to say firsthand that's a fact. You could go over there and it could be fucking just political.
Everybody's got cunts. Everybody's got cunts. I mean,
but the thing as well, he might look at Kyogo and say, fuck that, as well staying here. Because he's made a fucking boob, hasn't he?
Of course, but
that's going down.
Where was Kato Faye? He was a wee prick.
I honestly think Dyson Maeda really has the opportunity of being one of the possibly, I mean, not even a slim chance, but a possible chance of being one of the best ever Japanese players on a world stage if you went to a club like, say, who was Real Madrid, something. I think he could do that.
So see the thing for me, right? He obviously plays for Japan anyway, right? So he gets a game with them, right? So he's not got that.
But no, like
but he still played in the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't like but he played.
He's not like Kyogo, yeah.
And the thing is, he's with the Champions League form this season. That it's not going to do him any harm, right?
100%.
So say like a team like Everton come in for him, right? They could obviously double his wages, but would he maybe say, well, they're not going to be playing the Champions League anytime soon. All right, I'm getting in the English Premiership, but blah blah. Because 22, we played 22 games this season. You would hopefully, so we've got 2 qualifiers next season. She would hopefully minimum 24 games next season. So he's saying to himself, well, that's more than half a season I'm playing in the Champions League. That's better than the English Premiership. You know, and I'm settled here.
See, be honest, Jason, right? And I apologise for cutting on you here.
No,
but I think we're really at this point we're at total supposition, aren't we? Because I've no heard Kyogo. There was a documentary about Kyogo, and they showed you the Japan team getting picked in front of him, and he never get picked, and he looked crestfallen. And he's since come out and basically said the reason he's left is because he wants to play for Japan more. Now, you've already summed it up by saying Dyson is generally picked. Did they start against Germany in that, or did they score against Germany in that game?
He scored in the World Cup.
They scored the World Cup, right? But the thing is, though, I'll be honest, I've not heard anything about Dyson Maeda if he's happy. People all seem to say his wains are all jumping about. I've no insight, nothing, because I've not seen an interview that kind of, because he does that. He does your usual. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Yes, it was good. Thank you.
I enjoyed it. I'm away to watch baseball.
Basically, aye.
But so fingers crossed, right? And the thing is, Liam could be 100% on the money, but I've just got something in my head to say that I get your point with the business model. They want young players, they want them ready, they want this. But surely to God, they're watching that Champions League and going, just fucking give him 20 million and get that boy for a couple of years.
Well, the thing is, Jason, 20 million is none to these.
I know.
Genuinely, your beloved Everton, we spoke about it a couple of years ago. I think it was like 4 seasons in a bounce. They bought a £50 million player. Each one of them were donkey. Every one of them. You know what I mean? And you're like, imagine buying somebody that you can guarantee is going to bust his hole for you. Fuck me. Give me 10 of them, please. 10 of them.
You're getting the guy with the best work ethic in the world that's coming to play in your team. He's going to give you no hassle, and he'll just he'll no greet at end, he'll no smile at end, he'll just get the job done like a fucking Japanese assassin.
No, the point of order, it's shameful, but it is the way of the world, isn't it, that we sit here most every couple of weeks talking about how we are ultimately going to lose our players, and we think Celtic's the be all and end all, but can I move on to then the Hatate rumour, because I'm in the Lennon Miller replacement now. I actually think I'm wrong right? And in fact, I don't think, I know I'm right. I don't rate Hatate as high as I should, but I know how good he is. So explain that to me. Do you know what I mean? So,
But Hatate's an enigma for a lot of Celtic fans.
yeah,
I really rate him. I think he's top class, and he's been a delight to watch as a player. But he does try the Hollywood ball a lot. But he's the guy that when that comes off, it's brilliant. But
yeah.
a lot of the time it doesn't. But he's got that in his locker to do it, and I just love that we've got a player that can do stuff like him. Some of his turns, see the way he controls the ball. He's a master at the game, right? But he does have brain farts pretty frequently and gives the ball away because maybe he's got faults in his game. But all in all, I love the guy. I think the guy's class.
I'd like all of your opinion and everybody who's listening, who's sitting on your chat and all that. I'd like you guys to fling stuff in here as well, right? I'm going to kind of summarise my opinion on Hatate, but I'm going to finish off with a question, right?
Right.
I think Hatate, just as Jason says, when he is playing well, Hatate is an excellent footballer. But his consistency for me is pretty poor. And I think somebody who's maybe one step less as a player, but more consistency, wouldn't ever give us a performance like he did against Dynamo Zagreb, which I thought the Dynamo Zagreb game was fucking woeful. And I would rather have a consistently, obviously I want a consistently better player than him. I would rather somebody who hits his level and plays consistently. But right now, I would take somebody who's slightly less than him, but plays better most weeks, consistently well. Now, I would like your Jason, I've already heard yours. I would like your opinion on him as a player, and if you think the Lennon Miller thing is something you would consider. The floor is yours, Joe.
Me? Why you laugh? What do I think? I do get what you're saying about Hatate, but it's so. See when he first scored that goal against Hearts, his first goal, and he went on a run of games when he was fucking superb, right? We were touting him for Man United and fucking big dreams and big places, right? And he kind of sort of plateaued at a certain level, but at a good level. At a level that was very functional and very good, very effective. But then there came a point, I think, maybe at the start of the season, maybe the end of last season, where it kind of went, well, who's turning up today? Is it the shade bag that doesn't know what's happening? Or is it the guy that's fucking involved in everything? Because there seems to be like this duplicity in him as a player at certain times. I mean, is he the guy who's all over the fucking the loose ball, picking it up and making play happen, or is he the guy that seems invisible? And I just don't know. Like, what is that? I mean, given that Brendan Rodgers is able to like find something in a guy like Yang, you wonder like, well, what's going on with Hatate? It seems a bit of an enigma to me, in fairness. You still there?
Everyone is just listening to you, mate. No. I think you've basically just summarised everything both myself and Jason just say. But I'm looking for your end position because I think he's going to want to leave. Would if I said to you right now, Hatati's away at the end of the season and Lennon Miller's come in to replace him, what's your thoughts? If I gave you the option of Hatati staying,
no, I would think Bernardo or McCann's going to have a better chance. My first thought.
I don't. But if you put Bernard chasing Marty, I'd like his opinion on this.
I would take Lennon Miller, 100%. Aye, definitely.
And slot him in right away.
Basically, it'd be a rotational at the start, but it would definitely.
I don't know if that's going to be something Rodgers would ever really do at this point, given the kind of. No, I don't know.
It would be. He would definitely wouldn't be sitting on the bench. He would be rotational, but I think pretty quickly he would up his game and he would get that. I think the boy's going to be class. It's and I know folk. I've banged the David Turnbull drum, and loads of folk will say because he's come to Motherwell it could be the same, etc. But to me, the boy looks absolute class. And by all accounts, he's a cracking kid. You know, his old man's obviously well versed in football, played at a good level. The kid's got his feet in the ground, and I think Celtic would be. This is one of the ones. If you don't sign him now, there's a possibility you'll never get the chance to sign him. You know, I think he could, but it's a gamble, right? Because he's no the finished article. He's no. You know, it's the unknown at the minute. You know, he's playing with Motherwell, right? He's kind of the best player in their team. But you listen to that Andy Halliday and folk that play with him, and they're like, he's just unbelievable. You know, they play with him every week. You know, practice with him and stuff like that. And it's like, by all accounts, I think the boy will go to the top. So. Definitely. Same with your guys like your Lewis Fergusons and stuff like that, you know. You go back to John McGinn. If you don't take the chance on these kids now, then you're never getting the chance again, because once they go to, say he goes to Ipman, your Lewis Ferguson, obviously he's a dyed in the wool blue nose, but I've no doubt he would have came to Celtic if Celtic had put the bid in for him. But he's Juventus and that were going to sign him before the kid get the injury. You know, he was going to Juventus. You're not signing him for Juventus, you know, when he's got his career in front of him. So I think you're Lennon Miller. It is a bit of a gamble, but it's a low risk gamble. He's not going to turn into a total Haddy, right? At the very worst, you're going to get, you sign him for $4 million, you're going to get $2 million back for him. You know, and I just wait. Scott makes good points. Hatate is majorly hot and cold, but he's got genius in the boots, right? But he doesn't show it enough. But when he does, he's fucking unbelievable. He's a genius. But I would replace him with Lennon Miller the more. So that's my answer.
You know what? You've kind of convinced me, because I think from watching Lennon Miller's got a lot more give it to me energy. I mean, give it to me, I'll do it. I mean, I'm running, I'm making moves, I'm playing ball. Hatate doesn't really have that give the ball to me energy. I mean, I think that's kind of where he falls down a bit. The character really isn't there. There's a bit of a kind of weak, I mean, unless you're including me, I'm not really in the game.
Well, I think Hatate does. I think he does want the ball, and he does like. He just kind of makes an oh fuck, here he comes.
Enjoying the ultimate West Belfaster.
I'm damn good. Look, I'm walking up. Look, one sock, one shoe. I can't even fucking put two shoes on, you bastards.
How did your gig go tonight?
You've only got one shoe. You've only got one shoe. One shoe. You've only got
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, us has been joined by the Dagger, Paddy McDonald.
I'm walking about like I work in a car park in Belfast.
No,
You get
here
a
you.
lip, aye.
Nah, Barker, you can't.
Can I put your car there, pal?
You're one of the guys watching the motors outside Selleck Park. That wee guy lumped about with a high vis on.
Can't
Nearly
park
fell
that
up,
there,
mate.
son. You can't
Boy, says
park
I've
that
nearly
there, son.
fell up. You're like, what the fuck
What's,
you on about? It's a
what's
fucking
happening, Paddy?
street,
You
mate.
good? You good,
Fucking
Paddy?
All good. All
How was
good.
the
Sleepers,
Parties,
gig?
all sleepers.
How was the gig? He's constantly going
Gig
to
was
start
amazing.
chattering.
With a great night,
So
great
tell them
crowd,
where
and
you,
sold out show. So it
tell them
went
where you
fucking
were.
smashing.
Tell
I
them
was
where
in
you were
Oma.
tonight,
Daly's Comedy Club in Oma.
and give them a
So it
rundown
is.
on the tour so far. How's it going?
The tour so far has been unbelievable. Like every show has sold out, bar one, and it's just the demands are phenomenal. Like this show was done in the SSE in Belfast, and it's now out in the road, and everybody loves it. So it's going really well, and it's all happening.
And
And
give us
then
the fucking lowdown on the Barrowlands. The fucking
with
Barrowlands.
the Barrowlands show is something different. It's going to be a new show. It's a show that we're designing for. It's going to America, and it's going to England. I'm not going to do it in Ireland at all. So it's called
Wow.
Paddy Irishman, and it's a tour that's to go to Australia. And the whole point of it is it's a show for the play outside of Ireland. But
Wow.
it's just a venue I've always wanted to play. Like my last show last year for the comedy festival was in St. Luke's, and afterwards I came off stage and they had a ticket for me for the Happy Mondays in the bars, and I went in and I remember standing there and I was like, I want to play here, and the fella standing beside me was like, if you want to play here, we can get you in here, and I was like, do it, and then it
Wow.
only like a month, about 6 weeks ago, they came back and they says, don't know if this is going to happen. And then they came back and they were like, it's going to happen, but it has to be a Sunday and it has to be at like 6:15. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. The match is the day before. And then the match get moved. It's like, fuck's sake. But you know
But
what? It is what it is. It's going to be a fucking great night. The night before St. Paddy's Day, and you get to see a wee fiend like me in the bars. What could go wrong? And we'll probably
Fuck
get a
me,
good
what,
result too. Do you know what I mean?
And where's the tickets? Come on, give us all the details.
Tickets, if you go onto the Glasgow Comedy Festival website, you'll get the tickets for it. And they're not that expensive, so get on and get yourself a ticket. And if I sell it out, I'm going to have Shabine opening for me and the Wolf Tones closing after me. So,
Here, nobody's sitting down at Joe McDonald, for fuck's sake. Hit that.
yeah, so it's going to be
Paddy,
fucking.
Paddy, I was going to tie in with you this week anyway. I'll get you on this week if you can find a wee 2 minutes and me and you sitting there, we preview the Hun game, and then we'll talk about the gig and all that.
100%, mate, 100%.
Brilliant.
100%. Just let me know. And listen, I can do it in between shows. Tomorrow night I'm in Larne, the metropolis of Larne, if you've ever heard of it. And I'll have time before or after the show or Sunday, whenever you want. Just give me a
Aye,
shout.
good. I'll hit you. I'll hit you up. We'll do a wee room 1-on-1, me and you. All right.
Yes, 100%. A wee
Lovely.
1-to-1, a wee 1-to-1 like that there, but over here means something different. But I'm up for anything.
It means the same here, buddy. Don't you fucking worry.
Oh, happy days.
So-
It'd be the first love bait I've got my knack through the internet. Fucking brilliant.
So Paddy, tell us, right? So you're doing the tour of Ireland, right? Have you only done the north so far? Have you been doing the south?
Yes, this here is called the Occupied Six Counties tour. So it is. And then the whole thing is that down south. See, the thing about it is down south I haven't been punting that much down there, and I need to do a lot more of it. I do like Galway and Dublin, but I need to do all the wee towns and all the wee different things. So there's guys that's going to do a tour for me down in the 26th Free State, and we're going to fucking go down there and hit that too. But it's just hard to get everything fitting in because I've had the visa for America from September and I still haven't even got there. It's just been that busy that we're fucking trying to find time for it. But
Aye.
which I'm not
Donald Trump
complaining
says.
about it.
Donald Trump says tonight you're fucking welcome back. The whole of March is yours.
Yeah.
Paddy Irishman month, so it is. Tell you.
Aye.
Oh,
so,
fucking
so,
right.
so, so you're only doing the north in this tour,
On this tour here is only in the north, and then
right? Okay,
we are
right.
going to do down south, and we're going to. Now, in saying that, I have added down Dundalk. Dundalk's on the
Aye.
other side of the invisible
Aye.
border we have. but it's a
That doesn't really
traditional
count.
term that a lot of
Call
people
that,
when they went on
the
the run
diesel,
went to.
the diesel tour.
Aye.
Yes.
There's
Red
no,
diesel, the fringes.
there's
So
more folk for the north than Free Staters and Dundalk. You can be sure about that.
Fucking right.
yeah,
Better believe it.
it's
El
and I'm
Paso.
doing one of them, doing one in Donegal, and I'm doing another one in Dundalk. So I'm creeping in. I'm bringing the north with me down the south. We're gonna. I'm doing a better job in Sinn Féin. That's what I'm trying to say.
You'll get.
I'm actually
Yeah.
booked up, Paddy. I take my man the start of June to Downings for a week. So
Yep.
if you're about then, I'll be in Downings. Start the I think it's the 7th of June or something like that. Take my man out for a week.
Oh, very good.
The
No, we'll do
Downings.
something. My wife and kids love fucking Downing, so we'll work something out. And
Aye,
Andy
perfect.
Connor that owns the Downings Bay Hotel, he's a mad Celtic man. He's at all the matches. Him and his daughter
Aye.
go all the time, and he owns that hotel in there. And he said to me about coming up and doing a gig, so we'll try and get something organised, try and
Brilliant,
get
mate.
something going. You
So
know.
when see next week? When are you over? Are you over in the Sunday morning? Or are you over on the Saturday?
No, I come over on Thursday night, and I'm driving
Right.
up to Aberdeen. I'm in Aberdeen for 2 nights, and
Right.
then
Okay.
I'm going to probably come down the Saturday night or early Sunday morning for the match, and then do the show in the bars,
Right.
and then
Okay.
sure I'm staying in your house anyway, and
Aye, no worries. I'm just wondering if it was the Sunday night or the Saturday and the Sunday. So
no, just the Sunday night, one show in Glasgow, and then we've got Sunday night free, and I don't want to stay in Canvas Lang, and then I'll just
Fucking start on Canvas Lang again, you cunt.
So we were talking about you before you came on there, Paddy, at the start of the show. So are you still swearing as much on your show?
swearing, fuck yeah, 100%.
We were just saying, Paddy, like when you're Irish and you speak and there's a pause, you go, fuck.
Yeah, listen, I remember my first time doing the Ulster Hall in Belfast, right? And sort of was the biggest show that I had done to date for myself, like 1,000 people for me. And we were in the Ulster Hall, and there was a guy recorded the show, and he sent me a clip on the Tuesday, and he was like, I've made a clip, do you want to see it? And it was called the fuckometer underneath me on the fucking screen. And I done 40 fucks in 7 seconds.
I was telling him that was the one. Remember your
Fucking
ma?
Body Blues get fuck on you, ready?
Do you remember your ma pulled you and told you to stop cursing on fucking stage 2? She says you curse too much.
Yeah, my mom was like, yeah, I like you doing that, but you're swearing too much. My dad was the best one. He turned up with all his mates from Ben Madigan Celtic Supporters Club to watch me one time. And he came into the green room after and he says to me, here, they're all out there laughing at you. And I was like, that's what's meant to happen. That's what's meant to happen. He says, no, they're laughing at you. And I went, no, if they weren't laughing, I wouldn't be doing the job. He's like, nah, they're all laughing at you. Fuck that.
They're all laughing at you.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
They're all laughing at you.
But
Fucking
all
gig.
good. All good,
Well,
all good. So,
No, Paddy, if you end up doing it on the Saturday, remember the Vogue's got a do on.
That's it. The
Remember
Vogue do.
that?
The Vogue
Vogue's got a
dance.
do on.
It's the greatest
Matt
night in
Riley,
Glasgow.
he's over. He's one of your own.
okay, what time's it on to? Because I'm on stage in Aberdeen. So
You may get the
by the
fucking
time I would
helicopter.
get...
Fuck
Yeah, yeah.
You're the fucking wolf toads of comedy. Fuck's sake, it's the two of you. Fuck me.
Fucking guy.
Aye, if you're Saturday night in Aberdeen, you'll not get back down to Glasgow to
You'll
late
be
night.
fine. Get yourself doing.
I'll get myself down.
People.
People are like, Paddy, why do you work so much? And I go, because I've loads of kids. And they're going, how many kids do you have? And I go, loads of them. And they go, why have you so many kids? And I go, because I'm like the British Army. I don't like to pull out of anywhere. You know what
Right, Paddy. Paddy, right. What's your thoughts
Yep.
on her tie?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on him. Don't. He has been our worst fucking player. And do you know what annoys me about him? You know that he has it. He has all the skill in the world, and then he can pull off a pass in a match, and you go, "You bastard!" But he has been like religiously. I've been fucking throwing things at the TV because of him. He's genuinely put my head away,
He's had a
and
poor year.
he's had a poor year, yes, and he's still in the team every week. I'm going, Brendan Rodgers. He must have a 40-year dick or something. Do you know what I mean? Because he
I think
won't
at
leave
this
him out.
point, I think at this point, he knows that he wants to go. I think it's a point of trying to maximise return on the
Yeah.
boy. But see, to be honest, you think at any great European team they do, and I know Celtic aren't great, but can you tell me any other team that are sitting there going, as you say, Joe earlier on, I wonder if he's going to turn up today. Do you know what I mean? Like, just imagine we were kind of saying that about CCV. I wonder if he's going to turn up today, because when he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's bad. But we can't have that as Celtic. Centre mid, your centre mids need to be fucking on the ball. Need to be on the ball every week.
They're your maestro. Do you know what I mean? They're your fucking maestro. They have to be on it.
100%, yeah. Yeah, and have you seen enough of Lenny Miller to think you would give it a go?
I would.
The Murray boy.
I would. Oh, here, lads, everybody's leaving here, so I'm gonna have to jump off. Sorry, the way it's fucking happened.
Right.
Okay.
Adios, amigo.
Hey, love you dearly. Well done.
I'll see you later. Thank you very
I'll-
much for having me on, boys. Have a great one, and get
See
your
you tomorrow.
tickets for the bar launch.
That's
Yeah, man, Paddy.
all the best,
Hail,
Paddy
hail,
boy.
lads. See you later.
Hail, Paddy.
Paddy.
See you later, mate.
So remember, folks, that
I fuck
Glasgow.
he's away.
There you go. You don't get
Get your-
superstars every day of the week. Yeah,
Get your tickets from the Glasgow Comedy Festival website. Paddy is on the night of the Huns match. Fuck me, imagine we win. What a fucking night that'll be.
Win. Imagine
Imagine we horse them. Woo!
That's why I'm bringing my wee lad to this first of our homes game. They're going to be
Right,
there. They're going to be there.
I'm going to bring it back to you, right?
Sorry.
But it seems like I'm pure digging up. So did any of you boys know P. Davison? Is he mates of yours?
I know him. Big
Yes.
What's
friend,
his
aye.
first name?
Paul.
Right, brilliant. Okay, Paul.
It's called
Okay.
Fred. Just
Fred.
call him
Fred.
Is that Big Fred? Right, okay,
Yes.
right, sound. So I'd take Miller to come in there. My big thing is Bernardo isn't consistent either, so Miller will need to come in there. My problem with that, right? I don't think Bernardo is the guy to replace Hatate. I don't think he's that type of player. However, has Bernardo ever, honestly, this season been given the jersey and allowed to run with it the
That's the
same way
question.
anybody else is?
Do you
You
know, I'm
can't say
glad you said
consistency.
that. I'm glad you said that, Scott, because I actually thought you were going to say, is Bernardo ever shown what he's all
No,
about this season? But no, 100%.
I really like Bernardo.
Aye, because he's not been given 3 games in a row. I don't even think he's been given 2 starts in a row. But he's been in and out, and it must be so difficult to actually get a rhythm going. But I think the boy's class.
I think he's a good player, but I don't think, however good he's done for Celtic, I think Bernardo, honestly, right? And I can see people, I think Bernardo is the guy who takes McGregor's position.
That's an interesting call.
I don't think so at all.
There you go.
No. I reckon Hatate could take McGregor. I reckon, see like Hatate could play McGregor's position. I think Hatate can control the game. And I think, see, when McGregor's there, I think it stagnates Hatate because the two of them are trying to do the same thing. And so Hatate tries to do something else. But I think Hatate would be your holding midfielder. And that to me would be his best. But he wouldn't be as good at it as McGregor. But he would give you some amazing moments, but he would have some fucking brutal. But
see, this is the thing. This is the thing. As I said there, right? We need to get to a point where our considered first 11, and I know football's not about first 11, so I'm kind of contradicting myself. But we need guys that see when we're playing Bayern Munich. We all kind of know the 11, if that makes sense.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like so, and I want to know, as I said, Joe summed it up by the fact Joe went, see if Hatate plays well, this will be a good night. And we shouldn't be thinking like that. We should see CCV. I don't ever think, we'll see if a big man plays well, we might have a clean sheet. Or if Schmeichel plays well, we have a clean sheet. Or if fucking Maeda, see if Maeda plays well, we might score a goal. I put them as gimmies. And see if I'm fucking sitting there questioning a starting midfielder for Celtic, then I'm questioning him being a starting midfielder.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. I think when Hatate makes a mistake, you think, fuck, is he on it or not on it?
But Joe, we have got to separate. We've got to separate making a mistake from trying things.
I know. But when somebody else makes a mistake, you're not thinking that. I mean,
but there's sometimes in games, right? So Hatate's had some terrible games this season, Champions League games and stuff, where he just constantly gave
anonymous.
away.
Anonymous.
No, but not anonymous.
No. Forget anonymous.
He's getting on the ball. He's getting on the ball, and he's just
Dynamo
keeping the ball
Zagreb
away.
game. Jason, Dynamo Zagreb game was the point.
Yep. And by the way, some of them were simple passes, but
I said it on here last week. The other week, every single thing that went wrong for us was because of Hatate. He had a terrible game. Short passes, crosses. It was fucking diabolical. Put us under too much pressure.
But see there as well, right? See for all Brendan Rodgers gets all the plaudits this season. He's got to take responsibility for that because he's watching it as well. And I get the bench isn't the strongest, right? But you've got to take him off, or you've got to change your formation, or you've got to get a message to him to say, stop fucking trying the balls.
Paul was saying, fucking, say, listen,
just start playing the Neil Lennon passes. Just get to some cunt that's fucking near you.
But
do you know what I mean?
To be honest,
right? And I'm going to do the big old flipperoonie on you then. How can we play against St Mirren, right? And Hatate looks busted, and then we take off McGregor, and Hatate looks like a guy reborn. Everything he did looked so positive. Everything was excellent, proving that he's a player. Is there a clash there?
Aye, because that's his position. That's where he should play. And I don't think he's as good as Calmack at playing that position, but that's his position. He's to me as a holding midfielder that should dictate the play.
Yeah, he gets the ball, lays it off, and he moves.
Aye.
Every country do that, Joe.
I know, but you know what I mean.
but
you're a fucking wanker.
But see me, Scott, see as a midfield, you can't have like two anchors. Do you know what I mean? You can't like.
Well, we've got 100 anchors on here.
Oh, bugging a fish.
You missed a W there, but fucking there you go. But see, here's a thing, right? I wanted to talk about, right? Kind of getting off kilter, and I was thinking about it earlier on, right?
Oh, for God's sake!
Talking to a blue nose the day.
There's where you went right for the other.
And we're basically talking about the enigma, the team that he watches, right? And he's like, I can't get my fucking head around it. It's fucking a head fuck and whatever. Obviously, their good result last night. But we're talking about how fitness changed, right? And how, see nowadays, see at the top level, playing against top class teams, see if you don't have 11 athletes on the park, you would need to have 9 athletes minimum, because if you don't put the yards in, you're not getting anything out of the game. And it's like the buzzword of the day is the press. Everybody talks about the press. Nobody spoke about the press 10 years ago, right? But it's all folk talk about now. But effectively, it's when you've no got the ball, you need to be covering every blade of that grass. You know, you have to defend correctly, you have to keep a shape, but you have to come out off that park having run fucking multiple kilometres more than you would have had to do 10, 15 years ago. But I think the game's totally changed now. That, like, if you're no a total athlete and you're no totally on it, because you can get a Brendan Rodgers team, even either, right? He's off the boil at the minute, but he still puts in some shift every game, chases everything down. You know, Maeda's a one-off, right? But you look at the work that he puts in, look at the work that McGregor puts in, you look at the work that every one of the midfielders, when we're on our game, you know, you look at that Bayern Munich game, for example, how many yards did that Celtic team cover that night? You know, and it's when you've no got the ball that you have to run constantly and you have to close them down constantly. You can't just be sauntering about. See, like a Mark Viduka, he couldn't survive in the day's game. See the guys that just fucking poachers, that just fucking hang about up top and waiting the ball coming to them and they fuck all. It just wouldn't be acceptable nowadays. Do you know, I think the face of football, like top class football teams, and I would put Celtic in a top class football team bracket. I think football teams now, from even for Brendan Rodgers' first time at Celtic, maybe he tried to implement it, but he didn't have the personnel. But these guys at the minute, you need to be a total athlete, or I don't think you can succeed at the top level in football. So I'll go to you first, Scott, right? Because you're a learned man in the fucking ways and means of the football world. But what do you think of that? Jink the days of passengers. If you've got all the ability in the world, but you're not willing to put the yards in, that you could get by in football nowadays. Or
it's a massively interesting thing you brought up, because you go and look at Scott McDonald. Scott McDonald scored against AC Milan in 2006. Would I be right? 2006. Marty, the Rad McKendrick game. Yep. 2006. He scored the winner against them, right? And it was 10 years later. I remember me and Marty sitting having a chat. Brendan Rodgers was just a manager, and we said football's moved on so much that a guy like Scott McDonald couldn't survive.
No.
And that was in 2016. We spoke about it. And you look at Celtic's team. Celtic had monsters like Dembele. We had athletes like Armstrong, even Griffiths, just guys who just ran and ran. Kieran Tierney, Scott Brown, just monsters in attitude and monsters and physical ability. And as you said, right, but it's interesting because see at the top level, you're right, everybody needs to be willing to bust a hole. Everybody's willing to be mentally turned on at every point. And that's a big one. You said you listen to Casper Schmeichel. Casper Schmeichel says everybody's mentally attuned to the game. There's no switching off for 2 seconds. You switch off 2 seconds, you're punished, you're killed. And the irony being that what I think makes Scottish football, well, in my opinion, should make it more fun for the floating supporter. And by floating supporter, I mean, see your guys who go to German football. Like, Germans not a... I bet you they would enjoy Scottish football more than English football. And the reason I think so is because the quality is dipped a bit that you can allow you guys... Like, see, to be honest, see Jota. Jota's yet to prove he can play in an environment like England.
Aye, I would agree with you.
So see Jota in Scotland, people would come afar to watch him. Look at this boy, drop a shooter, drag a guy, fucking step overs. But is Jota good enough to go down to England and do that? Where they need him to do everything else.
He's got to defend for the front.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
So I kind of look and go, see Celtic. Celtic must be great for people just to come and watch, because we've got all the ball. It allows your football players to play. It's almost old school watching Celtic. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? it's
The thing with
and
Scottish football as well.
the irony being, once we get to Europe, we need everybody, and that's how. I mean, to contradict my point, Jota was magic against Bayern Munich, but because Jota was good on the night, Jota dragged their defence. But see if Jota has one of the days where it's just no working for him, then he's a man down, and then we're fucked, aren't we? Really? Does it make sense?
Aye, but the thing is, you need to hang your hat on him being good. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
But see, top players when they play in the high pressure environments, that's when they come into their own, and that's when they produce. You know, and it's like that's the market of top players.
I think your ultimate assessment is correct, and it just, no matter how much I dislike the English league for everything that goes about it, they guys are genuine. I mean, look at Aston Villa, monsters from front to back, monsters. And everybody needs to, but like I say, I think in the environment we've got, it allows us a wee bit more flexibility. But when it comes to Champions League, we kind of need to know where we are. I don't know if that answers your question. I don't know.
kind of little other shot, but
it was all the shot, mate.
Aye. Marty, Joe, what do you think? Do you think the game's changed that much? Do you know the ironic thing? See, before I come to you guys, the ironic thing is, see, Scottish football has always been 100 mile an hour, but it's sometimes been 100 mile an hour going nowhere. Like no, like the fucking players were fucking running 100 mile an hour. It was like the ball was 100 mile an hour, just fucking bonkers.
But here's the thing, Jason, right? How many fucking players have come up from England and completely flunked?
Oh, fucking the majority.
You know what I mean? Now there's plenty have come from abroad too, but there is obviously that, you know, that
Joey Barton,
Mickey Mouse leads, millions and loads of for him, but some of them from us, and so, you know, it's all very well kind of decrying Scottish football, but it definitely takes a certain mindset to play in Scotland, and one of the strengths that I think we've had over the last, I don't know how many years, but we have managed to manage that, to say, you know, you're coming to this club, but you're expected to win every fucking day. And see, the day you don't win is the day you're out of the team, and you have to battle for your own place, you know, broadly, and all of that, you know. Whereas some leagues, you know, I mean, I don't watch enough of European football anymore. I used to when I was younger. I mean, I watched all the leagues and stuff like that. And you were watching Celtic play, and you were going, there's not really much difference in ability here. It's much more about mindset, and that's where I think that comes in. I think whereby we're in this league and it's fucking small and it's blah 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 and everybody hates us and we're fucking on the edge of Europe and all this fucking shit. But I think if Scottish football believed in itself more, it would straddle, you know.
Marty Flynn, can I jump in 2 seconds, please? Right, really interesting that you're saying that, mate, because I was sitting with my man dad the day, right? They're just back to holiday, and I was talking about Scotland in general and how we put ourselves down as a nation.
Big time.
We I mean, we were talking about, so my man dad back for Benidorm, and they had all inclusive in their hotel. So my man dad, they're older people, so they're no bevy and that. I mean, maybe a pint here, and they was saying, you saw these drunkards and they're all English, whereas we've got this attitude. And then we started talking about the alcohol minimum pricing thing, and I'm saying it's been proven that the minimum alcohol isn't helping, right? But beyond that, see the minimum alcohol thing. You know what the minimum alcohol is, Marty and Joe? Yeah. So do you know what it is? Right. So we've put a minimum price on a percentage of alcohol. So what's a price here is cheaper in England and Ireland. But see the extra money is going to the brewers. It's not going to the hospitals. It's not going to help anybody. And it's shown that drinks drink, right? So I knew that personally, I knew it. And I was saying, we're the only country that punishes ourselves for something. The Polish drink as much as us. The English drink as much. The Irish drink as much as us, but they don't punish themselves. We always put ourselves down, and it's a Scottish national thing. We put ourselves down constantly.
It's a trait, absolutely.
Yeah,
Best wee country in the world.
I know,
but we say that, but then we came. I mean, I'm going to go on a tangent that I hope we'll come back to. If you go on the Huddleboard and we talk about, they're talking about reintroducing alcohol. We can't have it because people make an arse of it. And I sit and go, well, see attitudes like that, we're fucked. Why not try something? Why not try something?
Absolute
and
fucking
see?
cretins, man.
And then we've got fucking people going, well, you can't be trusted to do it. And I'm going,
you can get a fucking pint if you pay $2,000 for a season.
Exactly,
ticket.
Jason. Exactly.
Fucking load of fucking shit.
But I'm going to allow Marty to come back to his point, and hopefully he's still got it.
No,
I just think it's a Scottish attitude. It's a Scottish attitude of putting themselves down.
It's precisely the same point. Now, you can put it on a football context, right? Because obviously we're a football. We're not going to solve the societal problems of Scotland. But you've touched on drinks, so it affects football in the terms of income and stuff like that, which we've talked about on here. I don't know many times before. The other thing is look at Hibs. Hibs are bringing 7,000 fans tomorrow, right? Or on Sunday, sorry.
Sunday.
And fair play to them. But
Amazing.
where the fuck have they been?
100%.
Do you know what I mean? If those fans were actually more engaged in their clubs and whatever else, then they would give their clubs more of a support, more, fucking income, and they would give us more income. And that, I mean, I'm not talking about Celtic.
It's a great point, Marty. See, sorry to cut in there, right?
Brilliant point.
But Jason,
I've got Mark Strachan coming down to my house tomorrow, right? Our John signed a queue for him for the 150th anniversary.
We should have said to Mark about the day, shouldn't we? The night.
Aye, we could have.
I would have done it.
Do you know, I might drop my text, see if he was available.
Aye, do that. So he's coming down to my house tomorrow. John signed a queue for him for the St Patrick's Hibs supporters club for the Cowgate. It's the 150th, obviously Hibs' 150 year anniversary, right? So but he's come down to pick it up tomorrow, and he says we only get a couple of 100 tickets left out of 7,000. He says, fucking day tripping bastards. He says, makes you sick. So he's a Hibs fan that goes everywhere, home and away.
And Jason, see that comment I just made? That was not directed at the table.
No. But he agrees. No, he agrees with you.
And
that's the point.
And if you want another very good example of it this year, you need to look no further than Aberdeen. Because Aberdeen, when we went up and played Aberdeen in October or November, whenever it was, there was fireworks, displays and all this fucking stuff. And I'm going, and this is brilliant. That's exactly what you want to see. But where the fuck have you been? Like, if you supported your club more, it would, you've clearly got a fan base there. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So, if you were more engaged and all that, you would fucking help the club out. And look, and as I tried to say there, I'm not putting Celtic up above these clubs and saying, "Oh, we're amazing. Look at us. We're fucking fabulous. User wankers. What the fuck?"
No, I am.
But I'm not, and this is why, because as Scott was saying there, it's quite a general mindset in Scotland. I think it's another example of what Scott was trying to explain. And it's like, you watch these other clubs from different places, like fucking wherever, and you see what I would regard as quite small clubs, but they're really well supported and the fans stick with them. And you're going, fair enough. And maybe there is a different culture in Scotland. I don't fucking know. I'm not Scottish. I can only comment as an outsider while I've been travelling to Scotland from 1982. It's just fucking baffling. Do you know what I mean? Because
I'll give you an example. Everton Football Club, right? A once fucking massive institution in English football, and let's face it, no won a trophy since '95. Been absolutely fucking brutal, bar 1 year they nearly get into the Champions League. Alina cheated them out of it, right? But fuck all. Not a fucking sausage to sing about anything. They sell out every home game and every away game. That's a fucking proper support. And there isn't any fucking Japanese tour. Oh, by the way, there's one Japanese tourist going to watch him. I've got the bold Nobu getting down on the Glasgow Toffees bus for the West Ham game. He's there for the Huns game. And he's contacted me if I can get my ticket. So I've not got my ticket yet, but I'll get him one. So I've got my seat in the Toffees bus going for the Karen bus station. He's going to do his sell. He's like, are you coming? I'm like, no. So the bold Nobu, you know the boy I'm talking about.
No, exactly, yeah.
Aye, Nobu's coming out, so I've got him. He's getting into he's wanting to see Goodison obviously before it goes. But so I'm sorting him out. But aye, so talking about a fan base that sticks by their team, I mean, if you would look at Hibs in a Scottish context, Everton would be kind of similar in an English context. And they sell out every home game and every away game, and they've not had fuck all to shout about for what?
30 years now. The
30
90s.
years.
Jason, how many times have I spoke to Mark, right? And he makes a defence, same as Chris Daly for St Mirren. Some of your fans don't like the songs that you get. Fuck off, man. I think it's the stupidest, wankiest argument I've ever heard in my fucking life. Sorry, ma, for my swearing, but it's stinking, man, that I don't support my team because I don't like what the opposition's singing. My God.
So what's your problem when you're playing St Mirren? Why are you not there? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay. A load of fucking shit.
Big Fred's on the attack. Our fan base don't stick by the team.
Fucking Fred, put the cans down your fucking. He's texting me and all to say I'm going to appear now, right? I'm leaving this podcast if Fred doesn't shut up, right? Back to it.
Drop dead, Fred.
Good friend.
Good man, Fred. Fucking right. You tell him, Fred. There.
It's always
good to have the fucking pay in public. Fucking.
He doesn't like being called out, Fred.
Fucking good for Fred. Good man, Fred. Fuck everybody. Just fucking say what you want.
Fred.
Free speech.
Fred. Do you know what, Fred? Fred picked me up from a hotel one time, from the Saltley Park. You know who didn't? Jaden Higgins.
Oh!
I never picked you up either.
I never picked you up here, Joe. Fuck you.
I'll tell you what, PJ never picked you up.
Well, but I need to get a big
Sean never picked you up.
Get a big list of cons that have never picked you up.
Scott.
Okay.
PJ. Hold on a second. PJ. This is going to sound weird. Pitch me a tent.
Two claps and a Ric Flair. Woo!
This is a true story. A bell tent on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean in Fanor Beach in Clare. And my family stayed there for the weekend. And
getting away in the world today takes everything you got.
Man, listen, it's who you know, not what you know. You know what I mean?
That's fucking bollocks according to you. So what are we at, Joe? What's on your list?
It's fucking 2.5 hours. And what have we done? We've done nothing.
Hey, what are we reckoning about this fucking match of the weekend? Are we going to win it or what?
Well, Hibs beat us. So I would hope we beat them.
Let's see, Joe. It's that sort of instinctive football. Fucking.
I don't know how they don't invite his own BBC more often. I'm going to say with that. Who's a fucking rocket?
Is that why they all wear the same clothes?
Only fucking don't know how we fucking won the game. Look at that.
What the mess?
Funny old Gibbs hit.
Right, so but what about the Green Brigade?
What about, right, let's do Hibs first with the fucking, that
Fuck.
your cunt with the fucking, the goal. You've all listened to the audio now.
Honestly, see VAR, my horns are up. I wanted Riddick. I think as we sit there the new 6 months ago, I was done with it. I'm still done with it. I'm fucking. I don't know the laws of football now. I don't see what you, Jason. See what you're talking about.
Neither do the refs.
See what you're talking about, Alistair Johnson earlier on.
Aye.
Right? I don't know what's right.
Aye.
Honestly, I don't know. I ran football teams for a good 15 years to the point a wee fat hun referee gave me a fucking law book and I fucking read it front to back so that every cunt I fucking spoke to I knew. And see now, I don't fucking know. I don't honestly fucking don't know. And now they've got VAR that's supposed to make things clear and concise, and it's fucked. It is bollocks, man. Get VAR to fuck. The fact they can take that goal off us, did Celtic probably deserve to win that game? I don't think so.
Nah.
Hibs probably did. But see, to be honest, we scored 2 fucking goals. They scored 2 fucking goals. We should have got a draw. And see if we scored the second.
We don't want
to say we might have went and fucking won the stupid game. Right? But the fact is, the fucking wanks, man. This is bollocks. It's bollocks, man. VAR, stick up your hole. Get it to fuck.
David, the Swedes and that done. I don't know if it was only Sweden or all the Scandinavian.
Sweden and Norway.
Aye, they told them to fucking ram it. And they're still competing in European competition. You know, they can reel it in.
Bodo Glimt battered Olympiacos the other night.
Aye. So at the end of the day, it doesn't curb you. You don't need to have it to compete in European competition. Just Scottish League, just and by the way, how ironic is that we're wanting rid of it because it was going to bring fairness into our game because of Masonic conspiracies. But I think if you canvass the Celtic support, I'd say the vast majority would say get it to fuck.
Mate, it's not just the Celtic support, right? As I repeatedly tell you guys, through doing room 1-on-1, I end up following lots of different supports, right? Just now because I would need to talk to them on DMs. So I've got basically every team in Scotland. I've got some element of their support on my timeline on Twitter. That fucking hellhole of a place. And the vast majority of people are like, get the fuck. Because it's even gone beyond the point of, this is only here to fucking help Celtic Rangers, which a lot of Scottish football's about. They think we just get everything. But they're at this point and they're going, this is rubbish. This is fucking garbage. See that one? See the Hibs one against Dundee United? Explain that to me.
I know.
What the fuck is going on there? What the fuck is that, man?
But before we start, before we start analysing individual decisions, if we just look at this one today where they've released the audio, you can hear that Alan Moore was persistently trying to give that goal as struck off, no matter what anybody was telling him.
Yeah.
The guy repeatedly said, it's not conclusive. And he persistently tried to find ways that it was conclusive. So I don't know what the VAR setup is, if he's duty bound to listen to this other fucking cunt, because he completely dismissed him. And the one angle that I could see that actually looked as if, that is the decisive one, that ball's in, he completely dismissed. He whipped over it as quick as he could and went to another one and then claimed he couldn't fucking see.
I tell you, 1, 2, 3. Was it 1, 2, 3?
He bullied the other guy into fucking agreeing with him.
That's my point, Jason. I don't know what the relationship is between these cunts. If Moore's in charge or this cunt is there to kind of be a stop valve to say, well, no, we can't do this for this reason. I don't know how that team is structured, but Moore should never be involved for any game ever again, because that completely hold him under the waterline today. The process, he clearly from as an outsider, as I say, I don't know, but it seemed to me that there had to be consensus decision between the two people in the booth and the referee. They ruled the referee out. He told him right away, this is a overriding decision, whatever fucking term he used. He was telling us, the referee, we've basically overruled your decision. This is a VAR decision, and here's what we've done. And he browbeat the other guy into the decision. And he should be taken off that fucking VAR forever. I don't give a fuck who he is or what the fuck level he's at. Out the fuck. We need people like him taken out of the game. Completely fucking out of the game, because they're destroying the game. And we had this argument a year ago about VAR, because I remember saying that VAR needs to go. It needs to go. And this was after it had all fucking settled down. Because remember, the first 6 months of it was just appalling. Like, what the fuck? Like, repeatedly willful decisions against Celtic that made no sense. And I can genuinely.
And see, sorry for cutting in, right?
No,
I know this for a fact, right? But see, VAR, Scotland only has 6 of them, and they go about each club when they're playing at home, right? So it's that wee box that sits in the tunnel, right? And all they do is hook into existing cameras that were in the stadium. So, for instance, Motherwell's only got one on the fucking 18-yard line or whatever. So, VAR in Scotland doesn't have cameras at every position in the stadium.
And do you know what they should be saying in that case, Jason? We're going to pause VAR until we're going to afford it.
Yeah.
Aye.
I was of the understanding that VAR was its own thing. That VAR wasn't just TV footage.
Yeah.
No, Joe.
Joe, that was my original thought as well.
Joe, the reason they had this is the point. We don't have the same VAR as everybody else. And the reason that the Scottish authorities have fucking steamed ahead with VAR is because if you don't have experience of VAR, you can't referee in Europe.
Yeah.
Because you have to implement VAR. So therefore, they want their fucking referees to be seen doing Champions League matches and Europa League matches. Therefore, you have to have VAR.
It's like having a city policy, but Northern League is what it says.
Exactly. So Norway,
the point of that is, right?
Scott, Norway and Denmark, who get rid of it?
His VAR properly fucked us in Europe. It's knackered us a couple of times, but fairly. But in general, in Europe, VAR's been.
What I would say
is VAR.
Hold on.
No, sorry, Marty. Marty, go ahead, Marty.
To go back to my point, I don't really want to go into the individual pickings of a particular game with this.
No, Marty.
But hold on, let me finish the point to explain why. See, when I'm sitting here on a fucking Sunday and Super Sunday's on, and I'm watching a brilliant goal, and it's been ruled out because somebody's elbow was offside. Get that to fuck.
Right, but that's
get it
so
far.
Let's go.
Out the door.
My point is...
Exactly, tough. Exactly.
That's right, tough.
But my point is, man...
That's what I was trying to say, Toffee.
See in Scotland...
Fucking bingo.
In Scotland... We're all ready for killing each other over stupid things. The first ever game Celtic were involved in VAR. What happened?
The fuck this.
The fucking Hearts boy had his hair moved. It was the most Stonewall fucking penalty ever on the planet, right? Because they just got one and they never gave it. See, in Europe, in general, I don't think we've ever been fucked with it. I mean, we've lost a goal or something's been taken off as a Palmer one because it touched slightly and it's frustrating. But generally it's been right. So see, in Europe, it shouldn't be a worry. It shouldn't be a worry that it fucking does it correctly. Do you know what I mean? The only one I think, now I think about it, the only one I think that's 100% wrong is the penalty against Bayern Munich. That's the only one I think.
That is a brilliant example.
It's the only one I think will be totally fucked.
No, I do that.
But I stress again, I don't know the laws.
So let's say that VAR's great, right, and it all works. And to go back to the example that I was saying about where somebody's fucking toenail is offside, If far, then we should be going back to that fucking daylight rule. There has to be daylight for you to be offside. And then say to the VAR, right, well, the rules have changed here, and here's why. You know, we're in a sport where you score goals and you win goals, and it's great. That should be the fucking object of the exercise. Yet VAR is ruling off goals that are fucking ridiculous, and it's actually soul destroying. You're going, imagine you're that player and you just knocked that ball out of yourself to score the greatest goal of your life, and they've chalked it off because your stud was offside.
See, be honest, right? Fred's been getting a bit of jip on this pod tonight. But he's on the fucking ball. Maeda gets sent off against Atletico Madrid first.
He did.
Remember? And they paused that. The way they paused that, he should never have been sent off. O'Reilly handball in Madrid. Remember the ball bounced off his horn?
Yes.
He's right. Fucking VAR has been a cunt. Just get to the
That's right, Fred.
Fred.
Okay, Fred.
Fred, do you know what?
Yeah.
The worst thing you've done in your life is pick this fucking hard on. I'll tell you what, Joe, somebody will pick you up after I know what you're doing.
Yeah. So look,
Marty,
I'm
talking mute there for ages.
Marty, so Joe's saying to me, I'm going fucking go-kart and Campbell's lag. I was like, are you? And they says, whereabouts? And they tell me. And I was like, Joe, that's around the corner of my house. He's like, well, I'll come up to the house. And I was like, that's no problem. When are you going go-karting? After the Huns game, I was like, well, you can fucking you can whistle, Joe.
Joe, you know what to do? Joe, call around his house and put the heat over him, will you?
I deliver his pizza, Marty.
He'll not be back.
I deliver his pizza.
He'll not be back for 3 days.
Shut the blinds on his Joe.
See another killer with VAR for us in Europe. Mind the goal we scored. Maeda touched the ball and it was the slightest touch.
That's a
Palmer, we spoke about that one.
Aye, fucking hell, man.
Desperate.
The naked eye would never have seen that.
Yeah, but that's the game. That's the game. That's fair dues. I can handle that one.
Aye, because
technically that's correct.
Yeah.
But as Fred is rightly says, fucking Maeda gets sent off. Maeda gets sent off because all the wankers went do Wally. That's why he gets sent off. Do you remember? Remember he turned in the fucking see if Celtic went fucking bonkers after that penalty one against Bayern Munich. You never know. And it comes back to how much you're willing to. I don't. VAR's a piece of shit, innit? And that
terrible. And do you know the main thing about it is, right? It kills the enjoyment because see when you score a goal, you see that unbridled joy when the ball hits the net and the linesman's not get his flag up. You know it's a goal, right? And you're fucking, and now you need to fucking, you celebrate and you know in your heart you have.
But Jason,
something can fucking happen.
Jason, and here's the fucking point. You just made a very, very good point earlier. You spend £2,000 a year on your season ticket, but when you go to a game and VAR is doing
£18,000 on beer.
Yeah, I would say that's a fucking conservative estimate.
That's been kind there, Scott.
But you're starting at the game. Every cunt round the world can see the fucking review and the replays, and you can't, and you pay a fucking fortune in. It's nuts.
Because football is here to the guys in the telly now.
It's absolutely fucking lunacy.
Let's face it, football is ran by the EPL now, and all they care about is fucking their Indian and their Chinese and their fucking Southeast Asian and their American. You know, that's all that matters to them. They contribute more to the fucking English Premier League than the guys that fucking pay their season tickets.
Jason, I was reading and it was the Italian league guy, and he says, I am certain by 3 years' time we will have a live Italian game in America. And I'm sitting going, you fucking pricks, man. Yous are all the same. Yous are all the same. Try just grab money off of anybody. Do you know what? It scunners me. It scunners me to think of somebody taking a home game for one team and moving it to a different country.
Well,
It just scunners me, man.
I know, but I don't mind things like college football coming to Dublin because that's fun.
Scunners me, Joe.
But it's shite, Joe. But the thing is, that's them trying to sell their product worldwide. But
I
the
get
bottom line
that.
is, the thing is, see, fucking Italy and Spain, both of them, they're what do you call it? That cup thing they
Super
play,
Cup.
the Super
Super
Cup. Both
means
of them
nothing.
played in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, that's
So
fair
they're
dues.
they're-
That's a stupid fucking money making
Aye,
tournament.
I
I'm getting that.
suppose, but still, they fans want to go and watch that. You know,
I get
and
that, Jason. I
fans
get
are
that,
getting
but
a chance to go and see it.
I get that, but me and you buy a season ticket tomorrow, and then all of a sudden somebody says, "By the way, see the next Celtic Rangers game at Celtic Park." It's happening in Boston because we can make $4 billion. Are you sitting there going, you're sitting there going, you fucking dancer. Celtic have got $4 billion in a poker. Are you going, fuck you, you cunts?
I'm saying fuck you, you cunts.
Exactly, mate.
But the thing is that will happen sooner than later. I'm pretty sure.
No, I know. It's definitely the way of the world.
Aye.
Because
And the thing is, the Celtic against Rangers game is one of the most marketable games in the world.
And I'll tell you, the best way of making it marketable, take it off the SFA, because a big shower, we don't have fucking, well, thank God we're getting away fans back in, and we do everything. Imagine the EPL with a Celtic Rangers game. Imagine the EPL, what they would do with it. Imagine Sky, because you think we're scared to put it, to make it. I listened to you boys talking last week, and I thought it was magic, by the way. Fair kudos to you.
100% true as well.
You were all talking about how we accentuate how much the Celtic Rangers is all fucking trouble when we're fucking kiddies in comparison to madness around the world, and our league does everything to make sure that Celtic versus Rangers isn't a league decider, whereas every league in the world would be fucking going, by the way, imagine we can put this in telly, we'd make a fucking fortune off this, we could do this, we could do that. We're the only league, oh no, we can't have these playing together.
Oh, we can't have that. Keep your feet together, boys. Fucking no Presbyterian shite. Fucking. I mean, the thing is, we fucking. The bottom line is, I suppose to a certain extent, it's been marketing genius for people in Scotland to make it out that it's actually went all over the world as if it's some fucking religious war when we play them. And you're like, utter fucking bullshit. I mean, right, we hate them, they hate us, right? But fucking Sheffield United hate fucking Sheffield Wednesday every bit as much as we hate Rangers.
100%.
And it's like, fucking, it goes out, if you look at any of the things in Facebook and the Fitbit pages and that, what's the craziest derby in the world? 100% it comes up with Celtic against Rangers. Even English folk like, I mean, West Ham Millwall would be crazy, but you couldn't touch that Celtic Rangers game. And it fucking goes back to the old fucking bit with Kevin Bridges talking about it. More the Celtic guys walk by eating a sausage roll. It's fucking kicking off. I mean, Joe,
I heard you talking about that last week. I wasn't on the video, but I walked past. That was the 1-0 Magic Zarabski game. Is that right, Jabo?
I think so, aye.
And I walked by all that video, and I remember walking down going, wonder what that is. And then me and Rosie watched it, and it was so magic. That's why I thought Kevin Bridges was a genius, because he says with all us, I'm pointing at all yous, by the way, I know you can't see it, but he pointed, and And I remember that day going, and I remember walking down the game, knowing Ed was all going to kick off. And I remember me and Rosie sitting and watched it, and I turned around to Rosie and went, the fuck is he talking about? I mean, what the fuck is it? Madness. But anyway, sorry.
Aye, but it's like it's as I said in the thing last week. I mean, I had my mate. I was in Ibiza in '88, met all these Scousers, all Evertonians. So they all come up. I think we went down first to a derby at Anfield, and then they come up to sell it. I think it was a St Patrick's Day massacre one, the one 3-0. No, that would have been '88. But whatever one, they came to sell it one anyway. They come up, and I think we just won the double because it was the centenary year. It was a year after that they come up, but I'm sure we beat them at Celtic Park. And I took them in the jungle, and they're like, that was fucking brilliant, mate, fucking unbelievable. But we came out the game, went back on the bus, back to the boozer, fucking everybody's had a great night, everybody's went to their bed, fucking, like, nothing happened, they're like that. They phoned us up, phoned my mom's house phone, no, Jay, fucking unbelievable, that was mental, it was and I'm like, well, what's the deal? It was just had fucking a good day out, and it was like fucking singing mad songs to each other during the game and that. And then I goes down, like, Jay, we'll get tickets, we'll go to see Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So we goes down, we goes to the train with them, fucking turned up at Lime Seaters and it's fucking 80 getting on the train. We're like, how many Everton fans are going to be the other day? There'll be 1,500 or something. Fucking, we went down there and you're walking the gauntlet, get off at Fulham Broadway and it's fucking kicking off. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, this is bonkers. And like, you're like, it was scary as fuck, no, as a young kid. And you're like, we weren't used to this because we would go to away games to Dundee and we would take our Dundee, do you know what I mean? We'd have like fucking 7,000-8,000 fans up there, mob handed, fucking no sweat. Next thing you're doing there, and the crowd at the game would be 20,000, but there'd only be 1,500 Everton fans. Fucking 18,000, 17,500 of them, or 18,500 of them. And like, there would be like a good 300 of the Everton fans would be up for kicking off. And there'd be a good fucking 2,000 Chelsea fans would be up for fucking naughtiness. And you're like, fucking, this is bonkers, man. Like, and there's no fucking supporters buses taking you to the Grunner end like that and dropping you. You know, you're walking for the train station, you need to be at it. And you're saying, fucking hell. And you just think that fucking Celtic Rangers game was mental.
I mean, I would like to do the Turkish one. I mean, I would like to experience these. I mean, like, so obviously I've done you, Jason, you've done Everton, Liverpool. I've done fucking Borussia Dortmund, Schalke, which I was told was the biggest derby in Germany. Stinking, man, stinking. Not a touch on ours. Know what I mean? But so I don't know. And I've been to Dortmund, Munich, obviously, which is.
I went to Blackpool, Preston North End. It was fucking absolutely mental. Mental.
I want to go to Joe Shamrock Rovers, boys.
The one I went to, Avila. It's good fun.
You all right, Joe?
I have to head off, boys. I'm ready to go. I'm shattered.
Right. Can I be the first?
Wrap up the fuck time.
No. Scott can keep going if he wants. Scott can keep going if he wants.
No, Jovers.
Right, we'll carry on.
See you later, Joe.
Done, boys.
Night, mate.
Sweet dreams, Jovers. That's what it called. He should have just slinked out. He should have just fucking hung up.
You think I'd have a fucking night nurse?
I know he needs a fucking night nurse, to be honest with you.
Ovaltine. It's been a long week. Fuck me.
Aye, but see, I love all this patter, right? See this chat about, because I've thought for years that the Celtic Rangers game is the most overrated game in the world, because I've been to games all over the world, and I've seen the badness that happens at them, and you're like, fucking hell.
You see, in fairness, Jason, know who you sounded like there? What's the boy? Sykes, is it? I've been there. I've fucking done it. I've swum with sharks. Sharks! I've fucking done it, mate. I've fucking done it.
No, I felt Big Pat. I'm dying. I'd love to go to Hibs and Hearts game as well. I've said to Mark as well.
I fucking said it 1,000 times. It's one of my favourite games in football.
And by the way, you need to give credit for that. See that?
No, it's not rubbish, Scott. That's not
rubbish.
It's not rubbish. It's not. I'd rather watch Hibs and Hearts play than any of the derbies in England. Any of them. They're all shit, boring.
No, I saw with that. I'd rather watch Dundee United then. As well.
But Hearts and Hibs has a nice edge to it. They're always full. There's always good crowds and good atmosphere.
It's good that Hibs. By the way, right? Let's talk about the game of the weekend. Is there any nervous in your heads? And I ask that to everybody who's left listening.
Do you know what? I can't believe we've not spoke about it, because I was thinking about this before we come on the podcast, and I can't believe we've not even actually touched it, because, honest to God, I can't wait for Sunday now. 7,000 away fans coming. They beat us last week. Fucking, I tell you one thing, this isn't going to be easy.
No, it won't be fucking easy, Jason. And what I discovered today was that Hibs are on their best run, I think they said, since the 1940s.
Aye.
1940s?
Games.
Like, fuck me. Do you know what I mean? And
Marty, last time I heard one of these stats was Aberdeen, and fucking the old leather belt battered the fucking.
Oh, here. But my point is, it's making for a good game.
No, I'm sure.
It's making for a good build-up. But here, we're going to end up going to penalties before it. Hasn't that happened this season? Who do we have on penalties this year? In one of the cup matches?
Last season.
Was it last year?
So
it's not beyond the realms of fucking possibility that we're going to end up fucking Arnie Engels and whoever else, Tatate and fucking Evans pulling us out of a hole at some stage.
Fucking Arnie Engels. Jason will be raging.
It's like, it's not that. It's like, see, Arnie Engels is our penalty taker, right? So obviously he's got a free rein to do what he wants. But I reckon guys should take a penalty. Like, again, I'm getting back to the podcast that the Tommy Gemmell community project did in the Celtic thing, and then with the Tommy Gemmell interview, and they spoke about penalties, and I think Tommy Gemmell took 35 penalties for Celtic.
Fuck, is that right? Jesus.
And he scored 31 of them. And
wow.
somebody asked him, so what was your strategy? He said, I just fucking hit it as hard as I could.
So there was one of the other penalty shootouts last week in the FA Cup, and I watched them, and they were making some interesting points.
Right at one.
Yeah, there was a couple of them, and they were making some interesting points, one of which was you're more likely to score the more time you take, which I thought was interesting. And they were also saying just exactly what Tommy Gemmell says, the harder you hit it, obviously the more chance you have of putting it past the keeper before the keeper can do anything. So it's like the more beef you can get behind your boot, basically you're putting yourself in a position to score no matter where you try and place it. So power and timing seem to be what they're focusing on,
I've spoke about this there, blue in the face, Marty, or green in the face. But that book, Brilliant Orange, it's an amazing read. I can't mind who wrote it. It's about Dutch football. And the guy was that raging about the Dutch always lost in penalty shootouts. He done a thesis on it, and he sent it to the Dutch FA to tell them how to get their players to take penalties, to maximise. Obviously, you can't ensure that they're going to score. And basically, he worked out that to maximise your chances, practice at the same spot every week where you're going to hit it, the exact same spot. And obviously, if you're the penalty taker, but make sure there's 3 or 4, because you need to make sure they're on the park at the time. Somebody can hit it. And you only need to practice at the same spot. Once you score, then practice at a different spot. Just so that you're ready for it because it's something that you practice and you hit all the time, then you're comfortable there. And it's always like 3 steps back and 2 steps to the left or right, depending if you're left or right footed, and run up and hit it with conviction to where you're going to hit it. And he says, if you do that, he's done all this study and whatever, and he worked it out. The percentages were more because see all that running up and waiting in the goalie to dive. If the goalie doesn't dive and you hit the ball, you're up to the ball. What do you do with it if you're not going to put pace on it? I think you just need to be focused on what you're going to do and drill it to where you're going to hit it. And if you've practiced all that week to do that, then you've got a much better chance of scoring.
I actually think I think it should be compulsory in training. Like you should do penalties because we do play cup football all year. We play 3 different cup tournaments, all of which you could end up in penalties at some stage, and all of which could go beyond the 5 penalties that you're bound to take. So what the like? Surely that should be an enjoyable part of training during the week, right? It's penalty time, half an hour. Get one of those fucking, one of those. They put like a fake net in front of the goal with holes in it, and just put one on it and say everybody has to hit that red area.
Aye, and you don't need a goalie. You don't need a goalie in the net. Nope. You just need to practice hitting that point in the net every week. It's so that when you got to take that penalty on the Saturday or the Sunday or whatever, you've maximised your chance of scoring. Because if you've practiced,
totally agree.
And the thing is as well, you know yourself, the worst thing ever for a penalty taker is when you're running up to hit it and you change your mind as you're running up.
Yep.
100%. If you know where you're actually going to hit it and you've practiced all that week, you're confident you'll be able to do that. You're a professional football player. And the thing is, that's a bit of the game I don't think loads of teams take seriously.
Oh, I totally agree. No, but it's like, it's almost like, well, that's the penalty taker's job. We have a penalty taker, and that's fine. If you've got somebody who's amazing at taking penalties, then you would fucking use them. But as I say, if you're playing multiple cup tournaments across the year, there's a chance you're going to be in a penalty shootout at one stage, and there's a chance that you're going to go beyond your 5 penalties. Do you remember the year? It was back in Strachan's time. Must have been a semi-final for the League Cup. We were playing the Hampden on the Monday night, and there was
the goalies had to hit them.
Exactly. And the goalies didn't. The goalies didn't hit them because the goalies were 5 pound of one of the 5 designated penalty takers. It just went so fucking long that everybody had to have a go, and like Steve McManus had a go, Gary Caldwell had a go. So why wouldn't you, like, half an hour, 20 minutes every week, right? Penalty time, bang, 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 or it should be definitely 100. It's a skill that's part of the sport. It should be built into the training, and it can't do any player any harm. I mean, it really can't. They're bound to get better. I mean, even if you're shit at them, even if you are a big lump of a centre half or something, you're bound to get better, even marginally better, if you're practicing it every week and taking it fucking seriously.
100%.
Scott, you back, Scott?
I'm back. I've been back. I've been listening to this fucking nonsense since.
Is it time to wrap it up? Is it time to wrap it up? The fuck, Scott?
I've got a few cans left. If you don't mind going for a wee while.
Well, what do you want to talk about then? If we're going to stay on, I would like a definitive topic, Mr. Higgins.
Right. Thank you, man. Then.
Higgins is right.
What's that? I see what you've done there. You've passed that right on to me.
You've always got some wild football chat in you. So
here's a question. Here's a question for you, Scott. Out of all the one-on-ones you've done over the season, which includes domestic and Europe, which one have you been which been the best for you?
Quality, Marty.
Which one?
All the years, or just
just this season? Because I'm a great advocate of it, right? And here's why: because you see, whenever you're going through here's what happened last season stuff and all that, I fucking switch off. I have no interest, but that's me, right? Because I understand lots of people enjoy that. But see, when you get into the clubs and the people and what they think about their club stuff. I find it fucking fascinating. I find it fascinating about, learning about the other Scottish clubs and just how they think about us. And like we have a certain view on them, and often that's not the case. The view I have of these clubs are fucking totally wrong, and the view that I think that their supporters have of us is often totally wrong as well, based on what these guys say to you. So I do, I always big up the one-on-ones. I know you're doing one this week with Paddy, and that's like two Celtic men because fuck the Huns. Totally understand, but I find them mega interesting. So that's what I'm asking. Like, which one maybe this season is the one you went, wow, that was fucking class? Like for example, the guy from Bodo Glimt was outstanding chat. You know what I mean? And fucking even when Vidar Risef done his one, it was just fucking, you just learned so much. It wasn't even like, do you know what I mean? It was just, you were just learning things all the time.
The one this season I enjoyed most, amazing enough, was the Aberdeen one.
Right. Okay. Why?
Because you picked up a club who have plodded along shite, and all of a sudden they were fucking magic, and they were coming to Celtic Park. They were coming to Celtic Park to beat us. There was no bollocks. They were coming to beat us. They didn't give a fuck. They were undefeated. They were fucking ready to rock and roll. It was brilliant, man. It was a proper. So see when I talk to the Aston Villa boy, I'm sitting there basically shitting it. You know what I mean? But I'm talking away. The Slovan boy, Jason, I think you liked him. I think you liked the Slovan. Remember that boy?
He was good, and then he ended up being fucking nuts.
No, he was sound enough. But he ended up slow, but we ended up barring them. They weren't anywhere good, do you know what I mean? So I mean, the Club Bruges one's going to get down in fucking history.
No, right? Sorry, excuse me. Apologies. That's who I'm thinking of.
The Club Bruges one.
Okay.
Yeah, my fuck.
God bless you, man. I hope you're all right.
He get levered a lot.
Fuck, his middle name was Duck.
And then we get the first hand fucking text through for the boys that done it. And they gave us the real story.
The Bruce man will talk about for a long.
That was a great company event. I tell you what, Scott, right? Fucking no blowing smoke up your ass, but I'm right. But the amount of how long does it take you in general terms, right? See, before you do one, how long do you spend on that researching what you have to do?
Just sitting. Mate, takes you what? Over the piece of a day, it takes you an hour. Fuck's sake, it's not
an hour. An hour.
It's not a killer. Do you know what I mean?
I know, because I remember when we did we used to do the European. We did the World Football Clubs. I loved it when I did the Argentina one, right?
Yeah.
And it was like it takes you about an hour and a half or something like that, and you can get it all on the internet.
But you're buzzing, aren't you? You're buzzing.
And then you find some things out, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, that's amazing.
Yeah, 100%. You're buzzing. You're almost kind of excited to kind of allow. I mean, let's not kid ourselves on. The Bruce guy was excellent. He was fucking excellent. He was brilliant. But it's funny how it kind of, he turns up an England flag on. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy now?
Clueless of the fucking landscape of the country.
The cultural, it's like Borat, no cultural variations of fucking Scotland.
I mean, I'll tell you, Liam's pal, the Aston Villa boy, was good.
He was great.
He was really good.
But you know what you could tell with him? You could tell he wasn't a proper fan.
No. See when he was sitting, when he was sitting arguing with me, kind of going, well, if you want to be a big club, you've got to pay more. And I'm sitting going, you're not a football fan, big man. You know what it is, Davin. That's bollocks.
You could tell he hadn't been to an away game for about 30 years if he'd ever been to one. Do you know what I mean? He was like a home club fan.
But he was dynamite. But as I say, the Aberdeen boy, because they were buzzing. They were ready to go for our guts. And I'd like to go and speak to him now. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to go and see the end up, because ultimately their season gets slapped down the day we fucking battered them at Hampden, didn't it? We took my hand and we fucking battered their melts in, you know what I mean?
Aye.
And it's interesting. Like I say, I always love talking to Marky. Marky's a fucking best. Even a Hearts fan, remember that Hearts fan? I thought he was good.
Aye.
He spoke more than any of us. Fuck's sake, man.
No. The boat Mark, as I say, he's come down to the house tomorrow, right, to pick up that cue, but he's raging. They've got 7,000 fans tomorrow. Do you know, like, he's delighted.
He's a proper fan.
I mean, he's delighted, obviously, right? But he's like, he says it breaks your heart, mate. He says that shows what we're capable of doing.
Yeah.
You know, he says these are all Hibs fans that are going to the game. He says the majority of them will have season tickets, right? But he says, why don't they invest that energy in fooling us away from home, like every week? You know, and why don't they? I get it's too expensive for loads of folk, right? And I get folk that, but you're not telling me, like, for say Hibs were doing well in the league, right? They would always sell out they sell out their away end, but it's only like fucking 1,500 or whatever, or 1,000 or something, whatever we give them. But like, he's like that. He says, you can't tell me there's like another 6,000 that can't afford to go to away games.
100%.
You know,
100%.
And that's the thing that boils his piss.
Of course, and fair fucks to him. Fair fucks to him, because, like, as I said to you, Mark, he does his best to explain. He says there's a whole lot of people who refuse to go because of the songs you sing. And I kind of go, Mark, that's wank. That's fucking stinking bollocks. I don't give a fuck what the cunts across from me sing. In fact, if they sing something, at least I know I'm better than them. But I'm going to sidetrack. Big Fred's asked a question. Scott, do you listen to On the Continent with Andy Brasso? Right? Fred, here's one for you, kid. I've been listening to Andy Brasso since he was on the show that Jason likes. And what was it called, Marty?
World Football Phone-In.
World Football. He used to be on that, right? Andy Brasso supports Wimbledon. And I've been listening to this guy for 20 years.
So does he support AFC Wimbledon now?
He was a Wimbledon fan, and then obviously they fucking died, and fucking he stole their history and all that. So he's now an AFC Wimbledon fan, right?
Aye. So he's still
Jason, I have never heard this guy in 20 years. Maybe he has, and I've missed it, but I've never heard this guy say one good thing about Celtic.
Aye.
Ever in my life. Now, he'll bend over backwards to give Steven Gerrard, oh, what a job he done at Rangers, and Rangers done this, and mate, I've heard them fucking suck Rangers off. I have never heard them give us any credit. The day On the Continent with Doughton, and he's never, ever in my life that I remember ever said anything good about Celtic. Andy Brasso is a devil. He deserves to get fucking penetrated off of a fucking chair. He's a prick.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I'll make sure at a point I'm never fucking listening to that podcast. But see the World Football Phone-In, I kind of fell away from it, but I started listening a couple of weeks ago again. See Tim Vickery, I know Chilly John.
I like Tim Vickery.
He doesn't like him, but I love him.
I like him.
And he's always very complimentary to Celtic, and he's always very like he's a worldly renowned football guy, and understands culture. He hates the fucking Tories.
Yep.
And he's one for the workers, you know. And
He's ticked all boxes there, J-Bo.
Tim Vickery gets my vote.
Yeah,
He's a
Tim
Spurs,
Vickery's
he's a
good
Spurs
for me.
fan, but he's good people. He's sound, man, and he's lived some fucking life. No, lived in Brazil for a fucking load of years now. And fucking just shows you how life pans out. He's telling his story on there, how he ended up in Brazil and all that. It's fucking fascinating, you know. But he did an interesting one the other week, and they were talking about like people that he'd interviewed and people, because he got very friendly with some Argentinian and some Brazilian football players and stuff like that. He made a point of mentioning, he says, look, Lionel Messi, he says, I've no clue if he's a decent guy. He says, he's one guy, he says, you can never get close to. He says, I've done interviews with him and that, but he says, you can't get a grip of what kind of guy he is. He says, just like, he says, I've met them all, and he says, I've met loads of them, and I could tell you my opinion if they're good guys or whatever, but he says, he's one that's a bit of a mystery. He just keeps himself to himself and like does his stuff. So he says, I've no got an opinion there. And aye. So and talk about Argentinian football, a good pal of mine, wee Eamon, Rab's grandson, wee Eamon, used to be in the Green Brigade. I think he got expelled because he was part of the flag get lost and Legia Warsaw pre-season.
Oh, Poland, fuck, I remember that.
Aye. But Eamon, fucking, anybody listening to this goes to away games, will know Eamon goes to every single Celtic game, home and away. Him and a couple of other boys are in Argentina. I don't know if they're back this next couple of days, but they were they went to a River Plate game, they went to Boca Juniors, they did the full thing, and he put a wee video up the other night. He went to Montevideo, to the stadium where Celtic
Can you
played.
send me that, mate? I don't follow him, so none of that.
Aye, I'll try and dig it out, Scott, and send you. I'll get him to send me all his videos and I'll ping them all in the group chat.
Love it, mate.
But aye, so he went and done the full thing, and that's something I'm definitely going to do. Magoo's talking about he wants it for his stag now to go to Argentina, but see the thing is, David wanted to do the fit the tourist thing. I'm a weirdo, right? I want to go and see Independiente, right? I want to go and see them, and then I would want to go and see Independiente in a away game. I just only look for their results because they hate Racing Club more than any other club. So that's the only reason I like them. They wear red, which is a bit of a cunt, but and they're up there.
What do you mean they support red? They support red the same as the Athletic Club. You're
Aye.
You're full of shit, Higgins.
I know. I don't like that Athletic Club either. But what do you do? But the thing is,
what we're finishing with? What we're finishing with? Is this us done? Are we having some chat about something?
All right, listen. No, it is. I'm actually starving. I'm going to go make myself something to fucking...
Wayne's in Africa starving, Marty.
Well, sorry, I'm hungry. I'm going to go and have two fucking burgers. I'm going to go and have
I
two
shouldn't have laughed there. That's not nice.
crunchy nut cornflakes. So
right, we'll see Studio.
Adieu.
So what we thinking about Sunday? Are we confident?
I think it'll be a tight win because we're at home, so we should win. But I think Hibs will put it up this. They'll come flying out of the fucking blocks the way they did the other week. And as I say, hopefully this week off, not off, but hopefully this quieter week has stood us in good stead. As I say, it's a bit concerning to hear Rodgers talk while he was speaking about the defence. But at least he knows it's a fucking problem, so they're working on it. So you would, you could see Hibs scoring against us at some stage, so maybe 2-1 or maybe 3-1 or something like that.
So what do you call the defensive? Scales is out for a while. You're talking about trusting Carter Vickers.
Carter Vickers has been we know Carter Vickers is carrying this injury, and it can only be solved by rest. So that's what I'm saying. You're hoping he's getting a better rest. Rodgers are saying they're all tired. Trusty got the head boxed off him last week. So the defence has been really knocked about a bit. We don't have Scales at all. He's out. So you're down to who? Is it Naraki?
Okay.
Or that young fella Murray. So you know what I mean? It's not ideal. It's not ideal. No, well that's it, because Naraki has no future, so you're as well going with fucking Dane Murray, do you know what I mean?
As soon as the league's wrapped up, Dane Murray should play every game to make sure
exactly.
he's
Absolutely.
next in line.
And again, Carter Vickers has to rest. So that's your excuse. You're taking him out to let his foot settle.
Anyway, point of order. As you say, I believe in Brendan. Celtic should do the job. I think Hibs and the Huns are the two games that are in his sight. And Brendan is get everything because the two of them have embarrassed us. And Brendan does like getting embarrassed.
Yeah, that's it.
I reckon we'll win comfortably.
Jason, I'll take it. Are you giving me it right now, and I'll take it?
I'm giving you. We will win 4-1.
Whoa! Oh, this is Marty boy.
Telling you.
Oi.
Telling you, I've got full faith in Brendan Rodgers, and I reckon the King will score. The King will score a hat trick. There we go.
Dies in my head.
Here's the thing. Do you think he'll start with Dyson up front? Or do you think he'll start with Ide up front?
Oh, Dyson starts 100%.
I think Dyson starts up front and Ida's on the bench. Because see, the thing is, see for Ida, right, you're a young player up and coming. Obviously, he came for a heavy price. But you've got to realise we've got probably the best centre forward in the world now playing for Celtic.
In the world!
Aye. I wouldn't swap him for any cunt. I wouldn't. And it's a crazy thing to say, but I would not swap Dyson Maeda for anybody on the planet.
Jason, you swap him for a 12-pack of Guinness, Jack.
Yeah.
That's been slaughtered. I'm just counting it out. 4, 6, 8. No, only 8. 4 left. Here we go.
Here we go. 10 in a row.
Oh, by the way, that song's getting sung, and it'll be more fervently in the next couple of years.
A fucking Yang hat trick.
Oh, a youngster.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think the Yangers could start?
Definitely.
Absolutely not.
No, I think he could, Scott. I think the rotation system and all that, Kuhn hasn't been fucking whatever else.
Celtic will fucking Kuhn, Yang, Kuhn, Maeda, Jota. We're going to bury these cunts.
I reckon maybe go Yang, Maeda, Jota.
Oh, you think Kuhn's getting dropped?
Maybe, because he's kind of been a wee bit off the boil. And Yang's fucking, he's elevated himself there to say, I deserve a place. And maybe Brenders will go for it, so. I don't know. You're probably right.
That whole scoring against Bayern Munich means the fuck all, eh?
Aye, but it's a massively important game. And Kuhn is your fucking solid starter, so I don't think there'll be any, like, see if it was a league game against fucking Ross County at home, you could see all the changes. I don't think there'll be any like that. I think it'll be Celtic's strongest side available to Brendan. And the team that starts tomorrow will be his strongest side. Sunday.
It's the Mara. It's already fucking Saturday. It's 12:10.
Oh, here we go. Mara. Aye. But, so I think he'll pick his strongest team out. But I'll tell you one thing. When was the last time we had a game at Celtic Park like this that wasn't against that mob?
Big one that you were waiting on it.
By the way, under Neil Lennon, Aberdeen, in the beer.
Aye.
So,
I remember that.
Step a Gailey, you cunt.
Here we go. Right, I'm going to get a toaster. Love you. I love you, man. Be good.
All right, troops.
Slan.
Thanks for everybody. See you later.
See you later, troops. Hail, hail.